Good morning, everybody. How you all doing today? It's Wednesday, not to be mistaken for Tuesday. Not to be mistaken for Tuesday. Gaming Tribunal, how you doing? Thank you. Adam, Pagan. Who else is here? JT. Who else? We got Jim. Well, Jim's gonna be late because he's got a meeting. Oh, you know what? I need to turn on my light. It's doing weird things. It's doing weird things on the green screen. There we go. How's everybody doing? You know the electricity boxy thingy you have at your home with the flipping knobsies? Pull them down.
Fresh meat.
Oh, I gotta change it because you changed your name to I Blame Chrissy. I gotta change it so that way it does your actual sound effect instead of doing the random ones. Ugh. Making me work, Mason. You're making me work. Jimmy the Addict. Flippy things. Flippy things. So, we got a lot of shit to cover today. Got a lot. We got a lot. Now, one or two of them you guys may have seen, but I figured we could collectively kind of discuss it. So yeah, that's what I was thinking. Stranger, what's up, man? How you doing? So yeah, like I said, a few of these you guys may have seen, and I figured, you know, we could talk through them together and see what we come up with. And yeah, that's kind of what we'll do. That is kind of what we'll do. Let's switch over to this. Let's get this going here. So the first one we're going to cover is let me get it going here. What a bad pause. We are going to cover Grumpy, and CitizenCon was meh. Like I said, it's been a couple of weeks since CitizenCon. It's been a few days since this came out, so I've watched this. I'm sure some of you guys have watched this, and like I said, maybe we can come up with some talking points to talk through this. And without further ado, Grumpy Eye. CitizenCon was meh.
I'm back.
Hello, my name is Grumpy.
No, I'm not really back. This is just an illusion. No, but seriously, you guys wanted me to talk about CitizenCon for fucking so long, and you keep on spamming every fucking video that doesn't have anything to do with Star Citizen. We're like, when are you gonna come and play Star Citizen? When are you gonna make a video on Star Citizen? So I decided to, make one. And it's been like 2 or 3 months since I did my final or my last Star Citizen video. And like since Asmongold did it, since Big Fry did it, Dr. Disrespect did one, like why shouldn't I? Or am I banished from the land of the forever alpha by the decree of the whitest of the knights?
So, you know, he did say he was quitting. Wow, that's another not good pause for Grumpy. He did say he was quitting. He did say he wasn't going to cover it anymore. Especially when it comes to content creation, I don't hold things like that over somebody's head if they do decide to come back, if they decide to cover something, because let's face it, Star Citizen is going to be in this forever holding pattern. I mean, we can sit here and say soon, we can say, you know, they're on the move, but how long is it going to really take before we get out of alpha and actually move to a beta? I got to turn stream elements off.
The best pork chops in the whole world.
What's up, pork chop? So like I said, I'm not going to hold it against him. It'd be the same way if Salty Mike said, I quit, I'm not coming back. And then, you know, 2 weeks later came out with another Star Citizen video. The same thing with Board Gamer or any of those guys. If they say they quit and come back to cover it, hey, by all means, do what you want to do. I'm not gonna hold it against you. Yeah, the only thing I'm gonna really hold against you is if you're, you know, slandering somebody or being the big R word towards somebody. Then I'll hold that against you. But make what you want to make and be happy. And yeah, so that's what I say.
Like, come on, dude. Like, get a fucking life. So after addressing all that bullshit that people keep on fucking spamming, whenever I join the game and I'm like in global chat, or whenever I join a stream of my friends, such as Salty Mike that I consider a friend, like, I fucking hate that part of the fucking community. But
so just so you guys know, I do have, I mean, it's not privy, but he did put up in his Discord his like dislike ratio on this video, and I've perused the comment section, and I'd say a good 90% of the comment section is it's bad. It's really, really bad. This man stirs up a hate for somebody like I've never seen before within this community. Like it's bad. He's got over 100, well over 300 comments, and almost all of them are negative towards him. Not towards the game, not towards the development, not towards the management team. They're all negative towards him. And you know, you got to have thick skin if you're going to be a content creator. Not everybody's going to like your stuff. So, you know, it sucks, but you know, here we are. He kind of did put himself in this situation, but at the same time, I still say if you want to create content, create content. Even if you say I quit, if you come back 2 weeks later, then hey, by all means, do what you want to do. I'm not going to hold it against you.
yeah, let's talk about CitizenCon. Oh my god,
yeah.
they're working on base building. Holy shit, it's fucking amazing. Oh wait, no, this was CitizenCon 2017. But did you see the fauna though? The fauna is fucking amazing. Wait, this is still CitizenCon 2017? Like, what the But the space whales, Grumpy! Did you see the fucking space whales? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah, but I also saw a sandworm back in 2016. But oh my god, the server meshing is here. Oh yes, shower means server meshing. Oh no, this is another game. It's called Scavengers, and it had like up to 4,000 players in the demo for server meshing. But it's working! Like, what the fuck are you talking about, Grumpy? No!
Has anybody played or seen this game, Scavengers, where there's 4,000 players to a server? Has anybody done this? I know what this game is. This game's PlanetSide 2, and I played an absolute buttload of this game. Was I ever good at it? Meh. And yeah, JT, I'm pretty sure he did say he was going to cover it at some point, even though he said he had quit. Pagan, what's up? I'm trying to get Emote Rain to work. I might have to work with you on that one. But anyways, I know this is PlanetSide. PlanetSide has server meshing, and that came out in like 2012, 2013, some 2014, somewhere around there. The Scavengers game I've never heard of. He's brought it up several times, but I've never heard of it outside of what Grumpy's brought up, and that's it. But I've never done any digging on it.
Nobody else has this tech. Oh no, shit, this is PlanetSide 2 from 2012. A game that is released and is working and has up to
What's up,
1,500
Chaos?
players on a server. But okay, just please calm your boobages for a second here.
Boobages.
And let's talk about server meshing first. And look, I don't want to be a complete asshole here, but not only did they mesh a single room.
Okay, so I want to get something off my chest real quick. You know, we already went over the Grumpy thing. He can do whatever he wants. He kind of left the door open, but not really left the door open. And he kind of drew a line in the sand, but not really. that's a mess, and I'm not going to touch that any further than I have. But let's get one thing straight about what Star Citizen's doing. Nothing that Star Citizen has done or is planning to do is technically groundbreaking and new. It's all been done before in other games, on various different scales, various different graphics. Thanks, Pagan. I just I can't say that. Look, guys, this is completely brand new tech. It's never been done before because it all has been done before, all of it. The only thing I'll give them, is the space to Atmo to planet and reverse of that, and the no loading screen thing. Although I think that's been done in several other games as well, the no loading screen part. But like I said, none of this is new. It's, to me, it's not new and groundbreaking. It's when are they going to figure out how to add it to Star Citizen? That's always been kind of my thing. Is it's not new, it's not groundbreaking, but when? That's the thing. The problem with Grumpy to me is he'll patronize himself for being grumpy regarding SC, but also rage quits for clicks. Then he wants attention when he comes back. Yes and no. I'm not going to discuss private conversations with him, but yeah, I mean, but to also sit here and say that you've never rage quit a game and put it down for 2 weeks only to come back and pick it back up, I think you might be fibbing a little bit. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I took the disc out of my PlayStation 4 for Red Dead Redemption when they screwed me over and I literally threw it out the window and then came back and started playing it again. So, yeah. But anyways, let's see what he's got to say about server meshing.
With a minimal amount of clients connected to that shard, they also showed us that the tech doesn't really even work. The video that is playing right now on the screen is a video by Golgot100, and he highlighted all the bugs that have happened during that presentation. And even if you didn't catch all of the bugs during the live stream, it is very worrying that the people lost their shit over a single room that was on a mesh with like 4 or 5 clients connected to it. The issue is that we are all used to the game being in such a bad state that we lose our shit over some minor bug fixes and features being added. And don't get me wrong, I also lost my shit when they...
Okay, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here a little bit. What they showed and what he's saying. Okay, so they showed it. Is it working? To be determined. Is he saying, based off of that video, that it's buggy and glitchy and not working as intended? Yes, he is. But let's kind of put the two together here and say at least they've started it, and yes, it's buggy and glitchy. That doesn't mean that this is the final product and they're rolling this out. Now, once again, to be fair to both Grumpy and CIG, it's no longer a question of can they do it, it's when will they be able to do it? That's always been the question I've had with CIG. It's not can or cannot they do it, it's when will they do it. You know, and Porkchop, you're probably right. It was probably manipulated to show that it works or broke to see. Oh my goodness, Adam. Thank you, Adam. I appreciate that. It's just we'll see what happens. You know, we'll see what happens. You know, I look at if let's say 4.0 is announced next fall, right? and we're leading up to it. If anybody thinks that this is going to go down, if you think we're going to escape a server meshing patch without having a 318 type response, it's you better be prepared.
They added cargo to salvageable ships. I also lost my shit
I
when they
did
added
see
the
that.
tractor beams right now, like
And-
a couple of days.
But the server meshing is different from the replication layer, or so they say, or at least that's what I'm been led to believe. So, but the replication layer, the way I understand it, is that's supposed to save us from the crashing, and that's supposed to keep us from getting 30Ks and whatnot. And the server meshing is supposed to get the clients to speak to each other. Now, I could be wrong. So if somebody in the comment section wants to correct me on that, or in the chat wants me to correct me on that, go ahead. I'm not going to be offended. Ugh. But I thought the way it was explained, the replication layer protects us from 30Ks and all the other shenanigans that happen in Star Citizen, and the server meshing gets the clients, the different clients, to speak to each other. That's the way I understand it. So SC puts a huge focus on immersion. Everything builds off of that. So the supporting tech has to perpetuate that. If they didn't focus on immersions and graphics quality so much, we'd likely be further along. Other games do some of the same tech, minus the focus on detail and experience. That's very true, Pagan, because, you know, I don't know anything about Scavengers, but I'll talk about PlanetSide 2. PlanetSide 2 is an FPS, and it's rather large. I think it's like 500 players are on a server at a time, but it's not at the same scale to what Star Citizen is, and definitely not having multiple maps all spawned at the same time.
Days ago to the ships, and when they added or when they reworked the headlights so they actually work now, well, they're not really working, but that's what I'm talking about. We are losing our shit over some minor changes, and that is very worrying, because you can see that
I'm also guilty of that. I fall into that trap too much with Star Citizen and other games. It's not just Star Citizen that does this to us. It's other games that do this. You know, let's talk about Cyberpunk or Fallout 76, or you can even rewind the clock all the way back to Battlefield 4. You know, what you're told, what you're sold, and what you're shown ends up being completely different from when you actually get the game home or download it and start playing it.
basically just started working on server meshing. Like, it was supposed to be in the game in 2018, and earlier this year, like in January of this year, they posted a video that was like supposed to be a series of videos, but it wasn't, it doesn't matter. But it was a video on server meshing and how they're working on it. But this is something that, like, this is basically...
Now, I also have a question. I'm interrupting his rant, but I have a question. When did we actually start working on server meshing? Was it in 2018? Was it the beginning of the year when they showed us meshing together? Or is it 3 weeks prior to Star Citizen to get what we got at SitCon, or not Star Citizen, 3 weeks prior to CitizenCon before we got the video that we got at CitizenCon? Because they've done this sort of thing before where, you know, the underground bunkers that we currently have, that was whipped up at a CitizenCon 2 years ago or 3 years ago. 2 weeks prior to CitizenCon, those were whipped up and thrown into the game. So it's not like they are not guilty of doing this sort of thing.
the fucking beginning, and everybody lost their shit over a room that was poorly server meshed. Like, it's not even fucking working properly. Come on, guys. But it's not all that bad. The only good takeaway from that whole presentation was the replication layer that we will all be connecting to.
See, this is the part that I was talking about. They broke the servers so that the replication layer can save us.
That thing seemed to work properly, but it
Which is
wasn't the
good,
main focus
which
of
is
the
good.
presentation, because they simply had to focus on showing you server meshing, because that is something that we've all been waiting for half a decade now, basically. So from what I understand, with the replication layer working, that basically means that 30Ks will not happen as often as they do right now, because you will be connected to the
And hopefully
replication
not as
servers
devastating.
instead of the main servers. But it's still a server, and we all know how stable CAG's servers are. I mean, yes, of course, it's still an alpha, and yes, they're smashing bugs that like keep on 30K-ing the servers or disconnecting you or CTDing you. Sure, at some point that will all get fixed, but it's like that point is not now, guys. Like, you understand that, right? Now let's talk about Maelstrom, Mael penis. Now let's talk about destructible environments. If CAG pulls this up,
I'll let him finish, but this has me super concerned. When I was watching this live and we were having the discussion that we were having during the sitcon, this has me super worried. This has me beyond worried. And I have a feeling that this will never ever make it into the live build of Star Citizen. I don't think it'll happen.
I'm going to tip my hat to them. But there is a reason why most multiplayer games do not have this feature, especially if they're a massive multiplayer game. Most games do destructible environments with smoke and mirrors. They literally use smoke to cover up the destruction and most of the rubble despawning, and then maybe they leave the biggest chunks laying on the ground. The reason is simple. That new
Which is fine if you smoke and mirror it. Like, I don't have a problem with Star Citizen smoking, mirroring destructible environments if it's easier on the servers, if it's easier on the clients, etc., the replication layer, the entities, the streaming entities, blah blah blah, all the stuffs. I have no problem with that.
object that spawns from a destroyed wall
Exactly,
is a new
Pagan.
entity with all of its physical properties, and it needs to be in the same place, oriented the same way on all of the clients, because every player needs to see those destroyed walls in the same way. If not, some players would have an unfair advantage in a PvP scenario. Therefore, all the physics and the orientation need to be handled by the server. In this case,
Now see what he was talking about with the smoke and mirrors. If you actually, I'm going to back this up to right there. If you watch when all of this stuff falls and hits the ground, most of it's not there. Over 90% of it's not there.
PvP scenario.
See,
therefore,
it all
the
despawns.
physics and the orientation need to be handled by the server. In this case, it's going to be the replication layer, but that puts a ton of unnecessary strain on the server. But as we all know, CAG loves putting a lot of unnecessary strain on the server. But Grumpy, didn't you
Yeah, Xenothreat anybody? Yeah. Xenothreat anybody?
see the master modes? They're fucking glorious. I don't know how I keep on doing this, but like somehow I keep on doing this. This clip was actually from last year's CitizenCon, and we somehow still don't have master modes. But now it's time for a quick quiz. Go down into the comment section and tell me, do you know when they actually announced the aerodynamic system and the control surfaces? I'll wait, I have time. Actually, let me... while you're at it, you might as well subscribe, but don't subscribe because of Star Citizen, because this is not a Star Citizen channel anymore.
Nope, you're a game review channel now.
If you said 2020, you guessed it right.
Yeah. So moving forward, we like I've just said.
And this goes back full circle to what I said earlier. It's never a matter, well, I mean, it is a matter of can they do it, but it always comes down to when. When are they going to actually work on it? When are they going to actually put it in the game? I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Star Citizen and the development, I don't have an issue with the devs. I really don't have an issue with the devs. I think the devs are doing an amazing job. I think they have a lot on their plate. I think they're trying to do everything that's asked of them. I think it's management and the board that is pushing them around, canceling projects, putting them on a project, splitting them off another project, putting them on a different project, then coming back around 6 weeks later, get back on this project. Okay, no, we're not going to work on that one. We're going to shelve that one for 2 years. Now we're going to come back and we're going to work on it again. I think that's one of the problems. So, and I, I often use this metaphor. If I imagine the development of Star Citizen as a big stove, and on that stove is like 86 pots. And of those 86 pots, we got all of them boiling over, except for the ones related to PES, which is mostly okay, server meshing, the replication layer, and now let's throw master modes into the mix, because all of those are going to inherently change the way we play the game. Those pots don't have most of their ingredients in them. So the other 80 some odd pots are sitting over here just boiling over, making a huge mess in the kitchen. Now we have people scrambling to clean up the mess, turn down the burners, stir the stuff, add more ingredients, and then still somehow manage to get to those pots way, way in the back and work on those, so that way they can actually finish working on what they're working on, if that makes any sort of sense. So that's kind of how I liken their development.
With the aerodynamics is we're making the ships depend much more on the real aerodynamics of the ship.
And yes, the quantum jumping animation looks really good. And yes, the master modes will solve some of the problems, but we still need to...
Master modes is going to solve one problem and one problem only, in my opinion, and that problem is positional desync. If you cut back the crazy... What's up, Ghost? If you rubble generating maze, yeah, exactly. If you cut back the speeds, the positional desync won't be as bad. Now people are saying, oh well, it'll cut down on jousting. It's not going to cut down on jousting. Jousting will still happen. Here's what goes on when you have jousting right now. When you have jousting and you have two players blazing at each other at 1100 meters a second, when they go past each other and they go to turn around, you're talking of a distance somewhere between, it's been a while since I've taken place in a really big jousting fight, but between 5 and I'd say 10 kilometers, right? So now you have to turn around and come back, and now you're going a blazing speed again at each other, 1100, 1200 meters a second, and you do it again. Now that distance is between 5 and 10K again. If you cut down the speed, all you're doing is cutting down the distance. So instead of blazing at each other at 1100, you're at around 250, 300. That just means the distance is now cut drastically. So it'll be, probably 1 to 3 kilometers distance between the two ships once they've passed each other and try to turn around and come back. So all it's going to do is cut the distance, but I can see it cutting down positional desync.
To see it in the PU before we celebrate, because we simply don't know if the master modes are going to cause more problems than they solve. But we won't see it anytime soon, because the only ship that has the master modes update is the Gladiator still, and we have 200 ships in the game. And what the actual
and to add on to that, we only have one mode of master modes currently in Star Citizen, and that's it. We can't even practice what it's going to be like for one ship to be in SCM mode and the other ship to be in navigation mode. We have no way of testing that. We have no way of knowing what that's going to be like. We have no way of knowing what it's going to be or how it's going to be. Like if missiles are fired at a ship that it's like that, we don't know if you're going to be able to quantum boost right away. There's so many questions that are still unanswered by that. So we have one ship out of the 200, the Gladiator, that has master modes, and we only have half of it.
shit is this? No, like seriously, like what the shit is this? And I understand that a game like this needs to have a zoom feature. I've been asking for it for a while now, but like I'm a DCS player and I have that on my slider. Why not just borrow the thing from DCS? Like this just looks jank. This is just like weird and arcadey, and no.
I agree with him. The zoom in feature, I do not like it. I think it looks stupid. I think it breaks immersion, and it reminds me of Starfield's, you know, slow down, push R, target, and select which items you want to shoot at type thing. I don't like that. I don't like it at all, and I don't think it belongs in Star Citizen. I like his idea better of using a slider to zoom in and out, or setting some sort of hotkey to zoom in and out. But that auto zoom, I hope to God you can turn it off, because I don't like it. I really don't like it at all.
I mean, I guess for Squadron 42 it's fine, but for Star Citizen, sure. Not only that it looks arcadey, it gives an advantage to the fighters. In this demo, you could see that the Gladiator easily took down 2 out of 6 turrets on a big-ass Corvette ship.
Now,
that was
they did
made
say
to counter
that
small
they
so unless the turrets get a new
decreased the health
overpowered
pool of the
mechanic, this
of the
will render
turrets.
the
So
multi-crew
this
ships
one,
useless and make a new meta with the
they did say that for this demonstration, they lessened the health pool for the enemy ships, including the enemy turrets, and boosted the health pool of the Gladius, so that way they could do this without getting shot down, basically.
Gladius.
And the only reason why I know that is because somebody told me that, and it's on Twitter or some shit like that. This is the other thing that I don't care for when it comes to Spectrum, or when it comes to CIG, is when you want to get information on something, you have to look at Spectrum, you have to look at the official Christ Roberts website, you have to look at Twitter, you have to look at Twitch, you have to look at, you know, God, you have to, sometimes I feel like you need to go to Pornhub every once in a while just to get information out of Star Citizen. There's like 8 different places you have to go to look to find out where to get stuff, and it's kind of gets tiring. I don't know how some of these guys that cover news for Star Citizen do all of this, because like I said, you got to go to like, damn, you got to go to so many different places to get information.
Because the Gladiators never seem to fucking die.
Vandal babes now at Pornhub.
Without any issues, then imagine what would happen to you in a Hull C or an MSR. And I can only hope that they will balance things out and that this thing won't fucking break the game. But you never know with CAG, because
this is true.
314, when they buffed the turrets, they were OP, and then they nerfed them. But like now, they're gonna buff the fighters, and then they're probably gonna buff the turrets, and then they will buff the fighters, and then they will buff the turrets, and then they will buff the fighters, and then they will buff the turrets, and then they will buff the fighters, and then they will
so
buff
do
the
I,
turrets,
Ghost.
and
So
then
do
they
I.
will Then we have things like the FPS radar and scanning, which could potentially break the game for PvPers. I mean, if you can see through walls, it gives you an advantage over the guy that is trying to hold a room. But I guess with all the desync, you already have a huge advantage.
Okay, so this is another thing that I kind of have an issue with. Okay, for Squadron 42, this is good. For the rest of Star Citizen, not good. I don't want to set up an ambush and have somebody just bing. Oh, well, Scar's right behind that rock. I'm gonna shoot him. I'm gonna throw a grenade over there and kill him. And if he runs, I'll be able to see where he's running, and then I'll be able to pre-aim where he's running to and start shooting. I don't like this. I don't think it belongs in a multiplayer game. And if they do put it in a multiplayer game, it needs to have one hell of a cooldown, or if I'm on the ground and I'm wearing a helmet, alarms need to be going off that somebody just pinged.
Advantage, because you can turn a corner and shoot a camper before he even sees you entering the room, or you might as well be invisible, because that's still a thing. But okay, I might be overreacting, maybe it will be completely balanced and fine, but most of the PvP games that have that kind of a feature...
No. See, here's another thing. When CIG introduces a new thing, they do this all the time with ships. When they introduce a new thing, it's super overpowered, and then they spend the next 3 to 6 months trying to figure out a way to balance it, which usually ends up in a huge nerf. Now, in this situation, the pinging, if it was overpowered when it was released to the PU, it'll get nerfed into the ground, and then it should stay that way. But this belongs in a single player game and not in a multiplayer game, unless it's got a huge cooldown, like I was saying, and Grumpy also said.
features tend to keep those kinds of abilities on a very long cooldown, and they balance it out somehow. And then we have the raids that seem promising, but we still have to see them and what they look like. And they can call it whatever they want, but it's basically just a mission. And don't get me wrong, I'm all about getting new missions in the game because the game itself is really boring, and all the missions are super repetitive. But calling it a raid got me slightly worried, because it sure seems like a more complex mission than any of the missions and events that we currently have in the game. So does that mean that most of the missions are going to be as simple as the ones that we currently have, and
I
then
hope
we'll
so.
have the raids that will add some...
Adam, they I don't know what it was, whether it was an ISC or a CitizenCon last year, but last year they had mentioned that they were adding this to the Star Citizen game. Like, it's going to be in the PU. I hope it's not, and I hope if they do put it in the PU, it's, you know, it's on like a 3-minute cooldown or something like that, because I don't want somebody pinging. Like, that's what the meta will turn into. It'll be enter an area and just start pinging your brains out until you see little red silhouettes of bad guys and start shooting or throwing grenades in that general direction. And I don't want to see that. I do have some thoughts on the raids, though.
Complexity to the game? And if so, are they going to be different every time, and how many will we get? Because I've had my fair share of raids and dungeons in Destiny 2, and even though they are fun the first time you play them, you will go back to them only for the random high-level loot drops, and not because they're fun to play 10 or 20 times. So after a while, it turns into a serious grind, and that's when the game starts being repetitive and boring. And even though you have other content in the game, if the rare and high-tiered loot is only found in the raids, you will only want to play those raids, but you will hate every single bit of it. Now, the changes to the audio sound great, but...
Okay. So I'm going to stop him right there, because I have several things I want to say. Okay, number one, I have a feeling that the raids, for the most part, are going to be standard fetch quests. Go to this new underground facility 2.0, bring a bunch of guys, bring a bunch of ammo, shoot your way in, take some things, put it on a thing, shoot your way out, put it on your ship, fly out. I have a feeling that's what each and every one of them is going to be. And if it's not a fetch quest where you're grabbing items, it's going to be hack this thing. And I don't think it's going to be that fun. I think it's going to be like a 30, 40-minute thing. You'll be in and out, and that's it. Now, we did see, and I don't have the graphic for it, but we did see when it came to Pyro, they had, you know, I don't know how to word it, but like on one side they had like noob tier outfits for the pirates, and then they had legendary. I saw that specifically at SitCon. They had like low level and then legendary gear on some of them. Now, let's say they implement that and they actually start putting in legendary items and high level loot into these underground facilities, and that's the only place you can get them. Now, I got two opinions on that. Number one, he said it's going to turn grindy. It's going to turn into you're going to hate every minute of it. You're only going to want to do it a few times, and if you don't get that rare loot, then whatever, it's not a big deal. Point number two will tie into that. So let me get to that. For some people, the grind is the fun, not just the mission. The grind is the fun. Now, I play a lot of MMO. I used to play a lot of MMOs, like WoW, not WoW, but other games like that, Ultima Online, EverQuest, Diablo 2. I guess that's more of an action RPG, you know, the Morrowinds, the Oblivions, the Skyrims. And okay, look, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Some of those games, the boss fights are amazing. The cinematics are great. The story in it is awesome. The fight itself was really cool because you had to think about it and think your way around the situation. So those were cool. The grind aspect, now you're talking to a guy that has played Diablo 2 for the better part of 20 years. I have killed Mephisto, Diablo,
I'm bringing 30
Bale.
grenades.
What's up, bub?
Yeah. It's like dodgeball, but with grenades.
I've killed Diablo, Mephisto, Bale, Pindleskin, Shank, all of those guys probably like 7 billion times. And I'm not even kidding. Hundreds of times, or thousands and thousands and thousands of times, hoping that I get that one rare item. Now, this ties into the second part. If we had some sort of an economy, now this is a two-parter, where I could actually put on a marketplace and sell said high-level loot to a player, or trade that high-level loot to a player, then cool. I would be all about doing that. Or other players could loot up things or find other rare items and trade those to somebody that's been running these new UGF bunkers, and they can have a shot at getting that high-level loot. Cool. I'm all for that. I'm all for that. The other thing is economy. I'm hoping that we can manipulate the economy in these bunkers. And what I mean by that is, I'm hoping that some of these missions aren't just go here, fetch item, go here, hack thing, go here, hack thing, open thing, fetch item. I hope that I'm hoping that some of them will be go here, blow up this, I don't know, this storage area of laranite, or go and blow up this storage area of gold, or go and steal this storage area of gold. I guess that goes back to being a fetch quest, but I'm hoping it can start doing things to the economy, but we won't get that sort of thing until dynamic economy comes in. So I just, some people are not going to like grinding. Some people are going to love the grinding. But if you have some sort of player-induced economy where I can trade 5 things of this to get 1 legendary loot item of this thing, great. The other thing I'd like to say, one last thing about legendary, or like about looting in this, I don't think that there will ever be a best in slot for anything in this game. Like, I don't think there'll be a best in slot helmet, a best in slot armor, you know, best in slot gun. You know, I don't think there's going to be a best in anything. I think it's, but we'll see. We'll see if they go with that. Let me catch up on chat here. For the budget and size of production, looking at other games isn't necessarily a good example. Getting people in the game and sustaining active players will be very hard with the Tarkov-like gameplay. I mean, that all hinges on Death of a Spaceman. If Death of a Spaceman becomes a thing, then it's definitely going to be Tarkov-like. And if we don't get it and it stays relatively the same as to what it is now, where there's basically little to no consequences for dying other than maybe time, meh. I don't think they should have Death of a Spaceman. I don't think this game is ever going to be good. I don't want to say good enough, but ever be in a state where Death of a Spaceman should be a thing. Some players enjoy the grind. It's a mistake for a game that wants to pull from such a wide audience. Yes, exactly. The space games are already niche. If you put in huge grind times into it as well, you're going to make it even more niche.
TAG really needs to get their shit together and figure out what kind of a game they want to make.
Yeah,
there is no point in programming and or recording.
I agree with him 100% there. CIG still doesn't know what kind of game they're making. Yes, it's a space game. Yes, you can fly in it. Yes, you can do FPS, but they still don't have a real idea of what they want to do with this game. Squadron 42, I will give them, yes, they know what they want to do with it, but as far as Star Citizen, the PU goes, they don't know what they want the game to be yet.
Recording 2 different sounds for everything that happens around you. Not only that it's time consuming, but it's a known fact that most players will use the option that gives them a bigger advantage in a PvP or a PvE scenario, no matter if it's realistic or not. I myself would love the sound to be realistic because it's immersive.
That would be nice.
You either work on that or you work on the unrealistic sound design, which is also fine. But you don't do both unless you want to half-ass it and use low-pass filters to filter figure out everything that's happening outside of your cockpit or EVA suit, which isn't really what was advertised. Resource management and engineering sound great, and they told us a year ago how it's all gonna work, but I really wanted in the game to test it out, because I'm hoping that they will not break the game.
This is another thing that I'm completely terrified of, and I think he touches on it, but if he doesn't, we'll get on it.
Completely. Yeah, of course Grumpy is gonna say that something that is completely amazing is gonna break the game. Like, fuck that guy. No, but listen, I have a bunch of friends that are playing this game, and they have a bunch of ships, I have a bunch of ships. Why in the hell would they be on board my ship as an engineer, as a crew member, continuously fixing the ship up just to make it run? Like, why would they do that if they can get a Gladiator, if they can get an Arrow, or if they can get, like, their own multi-crew ship? But then again, will you...
Okay. So, two more things. I see his point, and I agree with his point. But on the flip side, some people want to be engineer. Some people want to play as an engineer. Some people want to be Scotty from Star Trek. Like, I get it. Some people want to do that. I think, yeah, Moonraker from Pagan's Discord, he wants to be a ship mechanic. His current wet dream in Star Citizen is to find a derelict, busted up ship, go there, tow it away, fix it all up, and then sell it. That's his current wet dream of Star Citizen. So not everybody wants to be a combat pilot. Not everybody wants to be a turret gunner. Not everybody wants to be, you know, I don't know, you know, the red shirt guy that dies in every episode of Star Trek. Some people want to be an engineer, and that's cool. The other thing that I want to point out, though, is how hard is it going to be to maintain your ship? Is it going to be to the point where you can no longer solo like a C2 or a Caterpillar? Or are you going to no longer be able to solo ships like a Cuddy Black and like a Freelancer and a Freelancer Max and all of that stuff? Like, is that what's going to happen? Because if that happens, whoo, we're going to have a lot of really upset players. A lot of really upset players. Oh, and third point. This is super hopium right now. Some of these systems that will eventually get introduced, soon TM, they're going to be big enough where you're not going to be able to bring a single seater. You're going to have to be able to bring a multi-crew ship and stuff a ship inside of that. Or, you know, maybe the Liberator comes out and you can put your multiple ships on the Liberator and then fly over there. But I don't know if that's going to happen, or when it's going to happen, or soon it's going to happen.
Even be able to solo a multi-crew ship. And yes, I know that they were saying this all along, but you still need to be able to fly the damn thing and to run away from danger if you need to. And I'm not even talking about fighting. Let's say you want to hold some drugs with the Hull C from Pyro to Stanton. You will need escort ships to make sure you don't get pirated.
Hey, Box Monkey.
You also need a ton of crew members on your ship just to make the ship work properly. I don't think that's a good idea. I'm all about having to maintain.
I see where he's going with that. You know, you need 4 or 5 escorts and you need 4 or 5 crew members. That's 10, 12 people. And look, you guys all know what it's like trying to get 10, 12 people to meet up together in Star Citizen. Poof. Poof. That's like 3 hour. That's like a 3-hour undertaking right there.
In your ship and having to fix stuff that deteriorates over time. And I love the idea of having more stuff on our ships to interact with, but I'm just hoping that it won't be yet another tedious task that needs to be done all the time just to make the ship function properly. But did you see the new hair tech, Grumpy, and the cloth?
Super
tech?
shave.
Did you see the beards? Did you see the beards? Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, sure, but like, whatever. Like, I'm all about gameplay. That's a good addition. But okay, fine. But
I'm kind of on the same page with Grumpy here. Give us more features and then work on character creation. Like, give me the server meshing, give me the replication layer, give me tractor beams, give me master modes, give me all that other stuff. The hair, the beards, and the new 32 DNA facial system. I kind of don't give a shit about. Like, put that for later. Put that for later. Like, I really don't care. I know that might rub people the wrong way, but yeah, I don't really give a shit about it. Put all that other stuff first. Give me that foundational tech you guys talk about all the time. Just star hair, star cloth. Marcus, I think, said it, or I don't remember who said it. Star booty cheeks. Put all that shit last. I don't really care. I don't care. Give me all the other stuff first.
In the end, all that I'm saying is that we need to see all of those things happen in the game, and that after all the Citizen Cons in the past, I simply do not trust CAG with
Right.
their deadlines. Chris
AI
said that all of
escorts?
this should be
Hell
done
yeah.
and released to Star
I want some
Citizen
AI
in
prostitutes.
the next 12 months, and everybody was hyped, but I think it's just laughable. You need to understand that it took them 3+ years to release some of the features like the tractor beams or the new flight model, and that they announced the personal hangars and freight elevators quite some time ago, and we still don't have any of that.
Here's another thing too. I really don't think people understand. Like, people are like, "Woo, personalized hangars and freight elevators and blah blah." That's cool and all, but I guarantee you, cargo haulers are going to do this one time and one time only. Maybe a couple of times, depending on what kind of personality they have. But if you tell them, for max profit, you're going to have to load all your own goods and then unload all your goods, and that's how you sell them, people aren't going to do it. They're not going to do it. And if they have to pay premium, well, now you're cutting into the... Okay, I've always heard this argument from the cargo haulers. I can't hire escorts because it cuts into my profits. Now, if hiring escorts and paying them $30K to fly from point A to point B and watch you sell is cutting into your profits, then do you really think them paying 50, 60K to have AIs unloaded for them, it's going to freaking cut into their profits big time? It's going to cut into their profits big time. And they're not going to do it. And then they're not going to do it again because they have to sit in their car, they have to sit in their hangar for an hour, because they're going to be the only one moving all these boxes. And I don't care if they're 32 SCU boxes. You get 500 of something, that's still, what, 16, 17 boxes that you're going to have to load, fly to point B, unload it all, run to the terminal and sell it. Pfft, they're only going to do it a handful of times.
That in the game. And I remember that the models for the tractor beams were done at least like 2 years ago, because I made my YouTube channel around that time and I covered it, and it still took them this long to make them work.
I agree, Adam. Escorts are not worth it right now unless you're doing the high risk, or excuse me, unless you are taking the high risk salvage like the drugs and everything else and selling them at salvage yards. Then you probably need some escorts. Because yeah, I would not want to be flying in there with, 200 SCU of maize, land, and have somebody hold you up, shoot you, disable you, all that other stuff.
Now, once you understand that, you might start understanding how long it will take them to finish all the...
Hey, Jack in the Box, I want to be very straight up and honest with you. Grumpy is my friend. And if you're going to disparage him like that, don't come back, please. That's how that is. Everybody else has been pretty respectful of Grumpy, even though they disagree with him.
The things that they showcased during this CitizenCon.
I'm disagreeing with him on multiple things in this. That doesn't mean I'm going to disparage him.
But Grumpy, they finished Squadron 42. They have more people working on Star Citizen now. No, it's not finished. They're still working on it. And there are also 2 more sequels that are planned for Squadron 42. But come on, Grumpy, you know this. It's going to be much faster and easier to make a sequel. No, it's not.
Okay, so he's right. No, it's not. It's not faster. It's not easier to make a sequel. In fact, it's probably going to be harder and more time consuming to make a sequel. Now, the one thing I will counterpoint on this is, there have been, once again, I'm going to go over this again. You have to do go through their tweets, go through the spectrum, go through the website, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, to find all this information. But large teams have gone back from Squadron 42 to Star Citizen. So hopefully soon, TM, we see this start to crank back up and we start to see new features coming soon. And I don't mean star hair and star cloth. I mean like actual stuff.
Not, and if you think it is, you're just delusional. Anyway, I have a video here that I posted a while back. It's about Squadron 42 and the problem with Squadron 42 and how it needs to be great. But yeah, just watch it after this one, I guess. And I'm not gonna lie, Squadron 42 looks nice, but the main issue I have with the whole presentation is that they really didn't show us what the gameplay is going to be like. They did show us some FPS combat, and honestly, it looked very clunky. And on top of that, we have the typical CG way of reinventing the wheel and making it a fucking triangle with a crosshair that moves around. Like, there is a reason why most games don't do that, but again, I might be wrong. Like, we gotta see it. We gotta.
I don't like the crosshair. I get rid of the crosshair. Hopefully that's a Squadron 42 thing only, but I don't like the in-screen crosshair like Call of Duty and all those other shit games have. Get rid of the crosshair. We want immersion. We want realism. And Christ Roberts has said we want realism and immersion. So yeah, get rid of that. Now, as far as it being clunky, it looked a little stiff, but you know, polishing maybe, hopefully.
Play it to know if it's good or not. Other than that, I will only say this.
Yes, this is me picking low-hanging fruit, but I like this right here.
Again, I might be wrong. Like, we gotta see it. We gotta play it to know if it's good or not. Other than that,
this right here, life-changing for me. If we can loot and move shit around like this, oh god, yes.
I will only say this, which is basically what I said in my Squadron 42 video that you should watch after this one. And that is that Squadron 42 needs to be a phenomenal game, because the broad gaming community...
HUD or not, I don't like it. I just don't like it. I don't like the crosshairs. I almost have, I don't think I have played, okay, first off, I'm going to be honest, I played every single Call of Duty from the beginning to, when was it? Advanced Warfare. And then I didn't play again until Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. I have never played softcore ever. I've only ever played hardcore. You don't have any HUD. You have no crosshairs. It's none of that. And that's the way I prefer to play my FPS games. I don't like it. I don't care if the helmets give it to you or not. I don't like it. I don't think it belongs. I just don't. I don't like it.
Community already sees Star Citizen and Squadron 42 as scams, and if the game is mediocre, people will tear it apart simply because it took them more than a decade to release a mediocre game, which in the end can make...
Okay, I have a question for you guys. I'm not going to do a poll, but do you guys think that Squadron 42 will find success outside of the Star Citizen community? I'm 50-50 on it. I keep saying no, and then I say yes. And I say no because I don't think enough people are super interested into space-related games. On the flip side, we've had all this bad press about Star Citizen for a long time. So people, if it actually comes out, people might buy it just to see what it's like. So I'm kind of 50-50 on it. I don't think so on one hand, and then I think so just because of all the bad press. People are going to want to pick it up just to see if it's as bad as they think it is, and it ends up being good or bad. Who knows? We'll see.
Make a negative impact on Star Citizen. It is not all that bad though. I am, for the first time in the past 2 years, actually really excited about the future of the game. Not because of CitizenCon, but because of the amount of content that we just got this month. We have a preview build.
But AC isn't available in Squadron 42, I don't think. Could be wrong.
that is locked behind a paywall of $1,000 that is currently running Pyro, and it looks really nice. And you can see how the gameplay in Pyro could change the PU forever, especially if you want to run drugs from Pyro to Stanton. On the other hand, we have a PTU that is locked behind a $10,000 or $25,000 paywall that has a working vehicle, tractor beams, and a ton of new and improved stuff. So you can see that something is really happening and that there is some actual progress. Now,
Oh my God. Grumpy saying nice things about CIG? Oh my God. That's true. That's true, Mason. Or Chrissy. That's true. I believe the only reason I didn't break as many keyboards I would have otherwise is that my decision to get into the game included a ton of Salty Mike and Grumpy Eye videos. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
now the issue is that all of that will go away probably as soon as the ship sales event ends, and you will be left empty and running more for quite some time.
So he was kind of double hand. He kind of like opened the hand and then backhanded them with them. He was like, "Hey, look, they're doing good things." Bah!
I'm hopefully wrong, but I simply have a pretty good track record of being right about these things, unless they really decide to go down the easy route and release Pyro to the PU, with the jump gate being a loading screen that basically connects you to another server, which honestly at this point would be a good idea.
I think so too.
It's better than nothing. But I digress. All in all, I will give this CitizenCon 4 out of 10 grumplings because it really reminded me of the CitizenCon from 2016 with all the sandworms and all that nonsense. And until I see all those things in the game, I will not trust them a single bit. Purely because most of what they showcased this year is something that they were showing us for years already. And the fact that Tony Z is still MIA and that they didn't even mention the economy system once is a huge letdown. So it is obvious.
And they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna do the economy in November," because SitCon was in October. They were like, "Yeah, we're gonna do economy in November," but then they put a pin in it and said, "No, we're not doing it right now." So, what's up, Vish? So they're like, "No, we're not doing it now." So that's supremely disappointing.
That they are
We need an economy.
not working on it at all. And that can happen with any of the features they promised this year. They could potentially drop them for the time being and start working on other things. And I'm hoping that I'm wrong about all of this and that we will get all the things from CitizenCon within a year, but it's probably not gonna happen. But I will quote my friend that was watching CitizenCon and he was all hyped up and he basically just yelled, well, but it was on Discord, it doesn't matter. He yelled, "The next 10 years will be lit." And that's, ladies and gentlemen, basically what's going to happen. The next 10 years will be lit. So that is it for today, guys. Thank you for watching, and thank you to all my patrons that are supporting me through the harsh times of not covering Star Citizen, even though I was a citizen, Star Citizen, whatever, content creator for a while. If you want to support me, Patreon link is down there. You have
Thank you, Grumpy.
subscribe, of course, but you have also
We'll agree to
join button,
disagree
you have
on
the
certain
chat,
things, but
like, you know,
hey,
all the things and how
that's
things
part of
work.
being human and
yeah.
part of
So yeah, don't
part
forget
of-
to bring
part
the
of
traveling
everything,
into
but-
space. I actually remember to say this because I'm not using that catchphrase or whatever in a while. But yeah, love you all and mwah, bye. Also, yeah, I'm not back. I was just passing by.
Thanks, Grumpy. That was Grumpy. CitizenCon 2023 was meh. As I said, you know, we can agree to disagree, but you know, that's things. Super Shave, you have a good one. Vish, let's catch up on chat here. Free and Ghost, they need to be able to have 300 plus people on a server for the servers to run smooth, and for the servers to run smooth. So that needs, we need meshing, and they can add all the shit they want. Yeah, like here we are again. CIG overpromise, they underdeliver. We all mad. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, kind of. Yeah. So Grumpy Eye, everybody, Grumpy Eye. Let's move on to the next one, shall we? We'll do this one. This one's from Buzzcut Psycho.
So the pyro test.
Okay, so there's rumors and things swirling about, and has been for a while, about Buzzcut Psycho's past. I'm not going to touch on that. But let's see what he's got to say about Pyro.
So the Pyro test so far has been pretty amazing. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I like the missions. I like the atmosphere of it. Pretty much, I like everything about Pyro. So
I've been accused of being grumpy light, so meh.
far from, well, what I've seen. Unsurprisingly, though, there are those that are now whining and complaining about this lawless system on Spectrum. We knew this was coming. If you were to go to the Spectrum right now, there's a very good chance you will see a torrent of crybaby
Okay. Is he? Is he? I don't have any evidence. Other people say they have other evidence. I have yet to see it. Until then, I cannot say one way or the other. And I'm not going to sit here and say that he is or he isn't. Am I going to go anywhere near it? No, I'm not. If he does or says something and it's caught and it gets put out, cool. But, you know, I'm not his friend. I'm not his buddy. I'm not going to defend him in any way. But I have yet to see anybody other than that video that Carl did. And even that stuff was like 7, 8 years old. People change. People do grow up. People stop believing in the things that they believe in. Until I see evidence of the contrary, that he's still the same person, you know, I can't. Anyways.
threads from PvE players, and not just your regular PvE people, you know, not the people who like to just...
Supposedly, Buzzcut Psycho is some sort of racist, Yahtzee-loving person. I don't know. All I know is I saw the Carl video that was 8 years ago, 9 years ago. I don't know if it's, I mean, it was true then, but over a decade ago, people change. People grow up. People stop believing in certain things. I mean, I'm sure many of us here grew up in a Catholic household and are no longer Catholic. So, you know, some of us may have been atheist and turned Catholic. We stopped believing in certain things. You know, some of us may have grown up in a racist household and were taught to believe certain things, and then we moved out and we grew up and we stopped believing in those things. It goes both ways for everything. So it is what it is. If new evidence comes out, like he put out some sort of tweet or something in his Discord comes out, then cool. I won't watch any more of his videos.
You know, do PvE, right? But the extreme far left malicious PvE Care Bear players, and they are out of control. And they're coming at you with the same crap they've been coming at you with for years now, ad nauseum. They're telling about Pyro being this awful griefer system. It's totally lawless. There's no fun here. They're talking about being camped in hangars and all this crap. Too bad. Too friggin' bad. Don't go to Pyro.
So here's a question. You get camped in hangars in Stanton and in Pyro. What's the difference? Oh, people have the ability to put a crime stat on you. So what? They still killed you.
What you're seeing in Pyro is a very good example of how low or null sec is going to work in Star Citizen in the future. This is not going to change. You can cry, whine, moan, all you want on the forums, whether it's on Reddit or Spectrum. It's not going to change. You are not going to get your single-player PvE server. You are not going to get your private servers. You are not going to get a safe space away from being PvP'd in Star Citizen. That's it. But they do not comprehend this. They don't want to. They don't want a fair game. They're going to mask their arguments behind saying things like, oh, well, real PvPers, they would actually seek out a challenge. They're going to, you know, these people are going to try and define PvP. Of all people, these people crying like children on the forums are going to try and define PvP to you. Let that one sink in.
I don't think even with Reputation, Box Monkey, murder hoboing is going to change or go away. The only way it changes or goes away is unless Death of a Spaceman becomes an actual thing, which I still very much doubt it'll happen. I hear NPCs kill you in halves. Very, very funny, Pagan.
Then they're going to say, oh, well, killing players is not real piracy. You're supposed to be like Captain Jack Sparrow and open terms and negotiations. All this stupid crap. You've seen it before. It will never end. They do not want to create a fun environment for everyone else. They want to create a fun environment for themselves. They want to destroy any and all gameplay elements that they do not agree with. This is the MO of PvE-focused, far left-leaning. If I say far left, it returns to my horseshoe theory video, not the political leaning, but, you know, maybe there is a bit of a correlation between the extreme left and PvE players. Oops. But I digress. These far PvE-leaning players, all they want to do is destroy your game. But don't just take my word for it. Let's take a look at some of these threads here. What I'm looking at right now is titled Pyro and the Need for PvE Servers. It's by a user named the Immortal Kid, and you can see emo in the title, so it checks out. It says, with the release of Pyro and the Pikachu shock face some have had, I think it's clear that CIG needs to rethink PvE-only servers. More servers are going to cost CIG money. The solution? Sell a new monthly subscription called the Total Protection Package. Its cost is used to pay for the extra infrastructure and development needed to maintain these PvE-exclusive servers. Then,
so we're going to paywall something else. God, it never ends. And I guarantee you he's got a hanger that's like 6 times the amount mine is worth. I guarantee you. And I agree, Chaos. I'm not a big fan of the delivery here either. But this is nonsense. This post is nonsense right here.
the current experience can be free forever with your game package included as always. I think that's a good compromise. Thoughts? Thoughts? This guy's an idiot. But this is but one of many examples. This doesn't need much elaboration. This guy is
I've perused Spectrum and seen the hundreds of posts. I've perused Reddit and seen the hundreds of posts.
This one's a doozy, and this one will take a lot of time here. But it's by the user Mohan Hedge, titled, Dear PvP Gankers, Pyro is lawless, not ruleless. Crimes and Punishments version 2.0 will be here soon. Just because Pyro is a lawless system doesn't mean that one can
soon TM
go guns blazing wherever and whenever they like. Pyro is a lawless system only from the jurisdiction of the UEE, but it has its own laws and rules and systems to function as a star system in SC's universe. Now those laws could be from a pirate faction or gang who control the system, but it cannot be 100%
now that would be
lawless,
cool.
Chaotic, psycho mode fireworks all the freaking time. After all,
what do you okay. Christ Roberts has said many times he wants this to simulate real life. Has anybody read what happens in Chicago in the summertime when the gangs are fighting over turf, fighting over drugs? Has anybody ever seen the news when that happens? You're talking 4th of July weekend, 70 people shot, 16 dead. You know, that's what Pyro's going to be. Even if there is reputation and the gangs control certain areas, and if you slight one gang, they're not going to like you and you can't go land at their station, etc. and all that. What do you think is still going to happen out there? It's still going to be, it's going to be the wild, wild west. People are still going to shoot at each other just because they want to shoot at each other. People are going to see somebody moving cargo through. They're going to try to take it. It doesn't matter. It's not going to stop anything.
there should be someone alive who's not insane in the system to have it up and running. It cannot be run by stupid, shoot first, ask questions later pirates without any brains. That's for sure. No,
yeah, I did see a little bit of that, Adam. Yes, I did.
Rules and regulations and consequences if the rules are broken. Pyro might
very
be
true, Luce. You can't just be
but that
defenseless and expect somebody to come and save you all the time.
Station 24/7. Gang wars happen for a reason, and they are planned and executed to avoid as much consequences as possible. In the future, if someone murders a player, then there might be a rep hit with one of the factions, and then if the reputation hits super low, the faction might try and eliminate you, or at the very least ban you from transactions or something. If CIG really wanted this to be a ganking paradise in a disguise of quote-unquote piracy, heck, they could even have given each of the NPCs in a checkmate station a freaking railgun and have even the best PvP player get blown to pieces before they could change their hospital gowns. I think very soon, the griefer's in for a shock once the reputation mechanics are implemented, and they'll probably start whining about not having the freedom of quote-unquote lawlessness anymore. As always, this person's a moron. But there is a little bit of substance here. But the substance is buried under this concern, trolling, fake care, and concern. This person, as with pretty much all of them making the threads, they do not want a better game.
Here's my thing. Like, do any of these players play in Stanton? Do, like, any of them play in Stanton? Because all of this happens in Stanton right now. All of it. It all happens. I've been shot in my hangar. I've had missiles shot through my hangar at me. I've had players ganking me at bunkers, ganking me at salvage yards. I've had players attempt to gank me as soon as I leave, you know, whatever space station, and they, you know, try that. I've been, you know, what's up, Marcus? I've had people come after me in my rock. I've had people come after me after I've loaded my rock. I've had people, like, does nobody play Stanton? Do they just sit on Spectrum and make these wild posts about how awful Pyro is, and they completely forget how sometimes, if you're in that perspective, how awful Stanton already is? God, give me a break.
I do not want you, as a PvP player, to ever play the game in a way that they do not agree with. They want to be eternally safe, and they want any situation where you kill them to be so severely punished.
I mean, Jim, anywhere outside of an armistice zone is technically a PvP zone. Like I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't get it. And I agree with you too, Adam. If you're a pirate and you're pirating and then somebody shoots at you because you're a known pirate or you're in the act of pirating, don't be all like, oh my God, somebody shot at me. Because now you're just being stupid.
That you never do it. Make no mistake, there is no interest in fairness here. It is totally one-sided. Remember that when dealing with these cretins. They will lie, they will try to pretend like they're on your side, and then they will stab you in the back to further their own agenda. It has been that way since Ultima Online. It will not change. They are mentally ill. But let's discuss the game. Let's discuss some.
Going that far is a little.
Things here which I think are pretty important. There is one thing I can agree with, and it is reputation. Reputation systems are the most elegant solution to quote-unquote punishing, and I don't like to use that word, but they are the most elegant solution to
I agree,
punishing
Adam.
or deterring.
I agree. Like, if you are pirating and somebody shoots you and kills you and you press charges, it's pretty a shit-tacular thing to do, in my opinion.
Players from mindless violence. The player still has the freedom and the choice to participate in mindless violence if they so choose, or if the circumstance dictates that they do that. And that's totally fine. But you should lose some type of reputation or make your stake known that you stand with this faction. For example, I'm going to be standing with Xenothreat. There you go. I said it. I love Xenothreat, all right? I'm a Xenothreat believer. If I'm doing...
I've heard some things too. I saw the Carl Kaput video. All of that stuff was from 7-8 years ago. I don't know if he's still like that. I have not seen anything come out that he's still like that. I am going to take what was said with a grain of salt, and if more evidence comes out to the contrary of that and says that he is still the same person that he was, then yeah, I won't be doing any more. But right now, it's like when people dredge up things that happened 25 years ago, you know, like, or pull up things that you said on Twitter 15 year or well, how old is Twitter? 10 years old. Like, more often than not, you're not the exact same person anymore, and you did some growing up. I mean, come on. If all of us were held to that level of what's the word I want to what's the word I want to use? If we were held to that level of scrutiny, none of us here would be talking to each other because we all played Call of Duty as kids and we all said awful shit to the person that just killed us.
Doing faction missions in Pyro for Xenothreat. The only thing I want is total death for anyone outside of Xenothreat. And I want the game to recognize that. And by recognize that, I do not only just want more rewards and incentives to continue my loyalty towards the Xenothreat, but I also want the quote-unquote punishment.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, Luce. You're absolutely right. Org play is non-existent, but group play really dissuades people from becoming hostile towards you. The larger the group, the less likely people want to screw around with you, shoot at you, etc. So, what's up, Rakumo? But the players that he's describing, I'm not going to call them mentally ill and retarded and things like that, but the people that want this ultra safe whole all of Star Citizen be safe, those guys, they play solo, they run around in their beacon suits, they do whatever it is that they're doing, and they don't want to be targeted, they don't want to be shot at, they don't want anything to happen to them because it's their little world and they want to be left alone in their little world. They don't want to group up. But and that's the problem. Like, CIG has said it multiple times, like, they're not really going to intervene when people are griefing. You know, we've covered on this channel multiple times what the TOS says about griefing, but that aside, they said in that same post where they outline what griefing is in Star Citizen, they said that they're not going to handle griefers because they want you to group up and handle the problem. And that's how you do it. And nobody wants to do that. And yeah.
To come in the form of being stopped from using any other stations, buying any goods, using their stations to fuel or anything. I want to be outright kill on sight by any NPC or player associated with the other factions. I want a faction system, whether it is hard factions like Planetside 1 or Dark Age of Camelot, or it is the soft factions like what I think this game is going towards now. You cannot have a sandbox where you have a system where you just cannot just kill anybody. It has to be there. The consequences should also be there. If I kill enough people in Stanton,
I agree.
I want to be
and Jim,
from
you're absolutely right. New players should not go there.
Being smuggled in, sneaking in, or attacked by the...
Unless you already know how to fly a little bit and you're like a Tarkov or DayZ type player that's like, yeah, I want to get into the lawlessness of Pyro, then yeah, I'll go ahead. I'll go for it. But no, most new players should not be going to Pyro.
UEE Navy on site. But I also want to have the option, if I have the power and the logistics and the organization behind me, to invade Stanton. That is my dream. I do not want to take people's cargo and do any of that silly Jack Sparrow stuff. I want to invade Stanton and kill all the players there, and I want the game to recognize that, and I want the reputation to recognize that. If I can never, ever in my life, as I play Star Citizen, ever go to Stanton without being attacked by the Navy as a result of my actions, I am fine with that. But I do not ever want to see safe spaces where players are impervious to damage from other players. That is ridiculous. But that is what they want. And if you cannot see how that type of attitude, that type of development will destroy Star Citizen, then why are you backing? What do you want? Do you want Elite Dangerous? Do you want your own private server where nobody can bother?
I hope they don't ever have SBMM.
Right? Go play that. Go play Skyrim. Go play any multitude of single-player trash games where you can live out your freaking power.
No, they're not trash.
Never worry about being
they're just single-player.
Keep that crap out of Star Citizen. How many games, good games, not soulless husks of garbage, daily grinders like World of Warcraft or anything else, how many good MMO games do you think have actually been killed by the endless, incessant crying and whining and moaning of these Care Bear players? Tons of them. Do not let's...
Okay, that was Buzzcut Psycho. Well, that was an interesting video. I don't agree with the Senate. Like, I agree with what he's saying, but the way he's saying it, I don't agree with. Guys, I'll be right back in 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. Something important came up I had to take care of right quick, phone call wise. But we're back. We're back. Alrighty, where did we leave off? Where did we leave off? Okay. Let's cover. You know what? Marcus has got a new video. And I asked him if I could react to These Ships Are Essentials for Pyro, but he came out with another new video yesterday, and we're going to watch that.
Is not the official list.
So this is Marcus Wynn, and what did he call this one? Hold on a second. Hold on. What did he call this one? Best crewed ships for Pyro. Marcus Wynn, best crewed ships for Pyro.
What's going on, guys? Welcome into another video. Today we are talking ships.
I like his shirt.
Guys, my list of ships that I think are the best crewed ships for Pyro. Now, keep in mind, guys, that this list is not the official list. This is just me giving my opinion to help you guys out make better informed decisions about going into Pyro. In my opinion about Pyro in general, it's not a system that you want to be a solo player in, and I think that is intentional by CIG to push the multi-crew.
As we just watched from the previous video, I really think that you're going to up your chances of survival if you're within a group of 2 or 3 or 4 people. The bigger the group, the less people are going to want to mess with you.
Gameplay. They want you to play this game with other people, and I think with the mission designs and some of the bounties, I think that they are really trying to push that, because doing a lot of this stuff single is very difficult. The bounties have more ships. The ground NPCs, the outpost missions, they have more NPCs there. Some of them have up to 56 NPCs that you have to kill, and that would be a tough task for anybody trying to do that alone. I mean, of course, you can go in with a light fighter or something like that and shoot the NPCs.
Let me know if I need to turn them up more.
But some of the outposts actually have caves underneath them, and you will actually have to go into those caves, and the NPCs can throw grenades now. So it's
NPCs throwing grenades. I like
with people that you trust, and I'm giving my list of ships that I think can do this very well.
This is the multi-crew ships. It's a separate video, new video.
Other person. Some of these ships you do need more than 2 people, sometimes 3, to run them a little bit more effective. So let's get right into it, and we're going to start here in the front row. We're going to be starting with
Crank them up a
the
little bit more.
Vanguards. I think these are going to be excellent ships. The Warden and the Sentinel for doing your NPC bounties and also doing your outpost missions. Now, we all know the Vanguards don't have any cargo capacity on them, but you can still
Thank
do
you,
the box
Adam. We'll
missions.
take a look into that.
At least for me, when I was doing the box missions in Pyro, they were a little bit bugged out, so they weren't always spawning. And if they did spawn, sometimes they would spawn underneath the map. So just keep that in mind. It's an old bug that's been since I started playing this game, where sometimes the box missions don't work. But nevertheless, the Vanguard, the Vanguard, and the
soon,
the Warden
soon.
and the Sentinel will give you the best option to do those missions. Okay, so we're gonna move on here to the left of this list. We got the Hurricane, and we got the Scorpius. These are also both fantastic fighting ships, and I think the Scorpius is gonna be one of the most used fighting ships in Pyro.
If you didn't watch his previous video, one of the things that he focused on a lot was the ability to have 2 or more shields, so that way you are offered some protection when you get hit by that solar flare from Pyro. And the other thing that he focused on very heavily in that previous video was having the fuel tank and the efficiency to run it. There's not just mining pads laying all over these moons, guys. There's not mining pads just, you just can't just go to a moon and be like, yep, I'm going to reload, rearm, repair, because it doesn't exist. You have to go to stations. You have to go to designated areas, and the space between them is big. So you're going to need ships that can get there and be able to sustain their fuel. And all of these ships that he has here that are in the smaller category all have really big fuel tanks for their size.
As far as like PvP goes and the NPC bounty missions, just because how good it flies in Atmo, I think it's the best.
I prefer the A2 Adam.
The best 2-seater heavy fighter that flies in Atmo in the game. I think it flies better than the Hurricane. Some people would disagree with me on that.
It does.
But
no, it does.
Like I said,
I
this
won't
is just me
disagree.
giving
It
my
does.
opinion. Again, both of these ships don't have the cargo capacity. You can't do box missions with these, but you can do your NPC bounties and you can do the outpost missions. So it does provide you some extra gameplay. And all 4 of these ships in the front row, they do have internal storage of some kind. So if you do find loot and things like that, you can't put it into the ship storage and take it back with you. Okay, we're going back here to the second row. The Cutlasses are also going to be another good set of ships. Of course,
the Cutlasses, not to interrupt you, Marcus, if you're still in here. Yeah, that's true, Rakumo. That is true. I guess pick your teammates wisely, I guess. Make sure you're with somebody that's willing to pull the trigger, willing to think on their feet. Because, like right now, like I keep saying Death of the Spaceman, if it ever happens, I don't think it will. The 2 hours prep time is enough for me where I kind of view this like Tarkov and DayZ, because I don't want to go through all of that all over again. So I want to make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, clearing corners, pre-firing if I hear somebody, things like that. Yeah, I just no, I'm good. It has the Cuddy Steel has the side turrets and then like 9 jump chairs. I think it has less cargo capacity than the black, but more than the blue and the blue and the red. But I'm not 100%. I would have to look at this. I would have to look at it.
Of course, the Cutlass Red, we all know it has the medical beds. The Cutlass Blue has the interdiction, and the Cutlass Black has the cargo capacity, and it's supposed to have a tractor beam on it. So I think even the Cutlass Blue is also supposed to have a tractor beam.
It does. Me and Marcus went back and forth over this. The blue is supposed to have. I was wrong. The blue is supposed to have a tractor beam. The red, I'm not so sure about, and the black is supposed to have a tractor beam. Also, I want to put out there, I was having a friendly debate with somebody about whether or not the Zeus, the Blue, and I think that's what we were talking about, are going to have pilot-controlled QEDs. I was under the impression that once the Black got its co-pilot-controlled tractor beam, that they were going to probably make the Blue have co-pilot controlled QED, and I assumed that the Zeus MR would also have co-pilot controlled QED. Turns out I was wrong. They're going to keep the QED being pilot controlled for the Blue. They're going to have it in the MR so that any seat can control the QED, and the pilot, if there's no co-pilot, the pilot will be able to control the front guns and one of the remote turrets. So that's going to be awesome. That's going to be awesome. So remember, they said they had motorcycles carry one SCU boxes for mission deliveries ages ago. Making anything that has internal one CU Dreamwise working with mission boxes. Yeah, that would. Yeah, we'll see what they do with that. I'm interested.
But I haven't been able to test that in EPTU yet. At the last time I tested it, there was no tractor beam on the Blue.
No, there wasn't.
I haven't gotten to one in the Black because in the EPTU I don't have enough credits. In the EPTU is not stable enough right now for me to earn credits to buy another Cutlass Black. So, but once I have more information,
you could rent one,
about
Marcus.
that,
you could rent one.
Video to this.
It's like 28K.
And just let you guys know what's going on with some of these ships.
I agree, Chaos. I agree.
Things like that. But I think with these 3 ships right here, you're going to get a lot more out of your play experience, being able to do a lot more mission types. So I think that the Cutlass Black, the red, and the Blue, these are also going to be fantastic ships, and they're not too expensive, and they're much more attainable than some of the other ships on this list. And if you're starting out with 1 or 2 guys, maybe 3,
yeah,
give you the
I've heard about that, Adam.
That. And also, I believe with the Cutlass Black, I'm not sure, but I think it's going to be the co-pilot's going to have access to that tractor beam. So having that third person will probably be a better idea with this ship.
You have 3, a pilot,
that you can use,
a gunner,
but only 2 racks,
and a tractor.
You know, somebody got a hot rack. Somebody got to share a bunk. I'll let you guys argue who's sharing the bunk in the comments. Moving over to the left, I think the Redeemer is going to be one of the better ships for Pyro.
For me, even though this is lacking cargo, like I can't take cargo, it does have internal storage. I would take this ship with me to Pyro in a heartbeat. This would be the one that I would take. Either this one, basically these 3 right here. Actually, I take that back. These 4 right here. These would be the ones that I would take to Pyro, especially if I have crew with me. These are the ones I take right here.
It has the weapons, it has, the firepower is crazy. It has very good shielding. And one of the things I wanted to mention in this video before I get too far into it is shielding is very important in Pyro when it comes down to the solar flares. The solar flares, if you don't have the right shields, it can damage your ship. There's a ship missing from this list.
Yeah.
And I'll explain why I didn't put it on
you
this
can't
list.
put like a 30 SCU box in there, though.
Ship is under-shielded, and it did take damage from the solar flare.
I bet, Adam, I bet.
List, but I will mention it later on as an honorable mention. And also, I think that particular ship, the turrets are kind of weak. But I will mention that ship a little bit later.
Ooh, we got a secret ship, guys. Secret ship.
It's
official.
Decent enough hull HP to where you can do your NPC bounties. You can do PvP with this ship. You can do the outpost missions. It does not have a cargo grid on it, so you can't run cargo if you find it. But it does give you the opportunity to do multiple gameplay styles. So the Redeemer for me is an excellent choice for a multi-crew ship in Pyro. We're gonna move right here.
Yeah, it does. That works.
Again,
I've done it with the Cuddy Black
with
too.
its modularity coming online here soon.
Because the 32 SCUs won't fit in there; they're too long. I just jammed it in there,
gameplay,
sold it.
And also because this ship has a lot of HP to it.
It does.
So even though it doesn't fly that well, it is a little bit harder to kill. And if you have a crew, that has, you know, the turrets on there. You got your turrets manned. For the PvE at least, it's going to be an excellent choice. Moving on here.
I think he's got the Taurus and the Andromeda.
Now, the Connie Taurus is an underdog. It's an underappreciated ship. As of yesterday, I tested this in the EPT with my boy Canop. The tractor beam is working for the Connie Taurus now. Now, the Connie Taurus is not perfect, but what it does have, you have that tractor beam on the bottom turret, you have a top turret, and you also have 4 pilot-controlled weapons,
right,
up to 2 size 5s and 2 size 4s. You don't have as many missiles as the Andromeda does, but one of the things that you do have is that tractor beam. You have the cargo capacity. Now, here's where I say the Connie Taurus is not perfect. That rear cargo space, it's hard to get anything bigger than like the big 16 SU boxes. We tested this yesterday. We could not get those into the back storage space. So you will be limited to only putting the smaller boxes in that back shielded space for the storage. But I think that's kind of okay. I do hope the Connie Taurus gets another update in the future. That way,
it's
all of the cargo.
If I remember correctly, aren't the Connies all supposed to be getting like a gold pass at some point soon? And I know that they said specifically for the Andromeda, they were going to move some of these struts around so you get a better view, because the Taurus and the Phoenix have a much better view out of the cockpit than the Andromeda does.
Grids can be loaded by the tractor beam. So hopefully they make it to where that rear cargo space, even though it's shielded, can also be let down to low cargo. A
Marcus
bit more,
is bringing up a lot of really good points.
But this ship right here, good firepower.
Here's the thing, like Marcus. Ooh, that's a bad pause.
Decent.
Marcus, in my opinion, he's a much larger channel than I am. I think that he is underappreciated in the Star Citizen community, especially when it comes to him talking about these ships and Pyro. The man didn't sleep for basically a week. As soon as they dropped Pyro, the man was in. He was in. He was testing all the ridiculousness that you could do in Pyro. Yeah, Pyro's got some problems. Yeah, Pyro's got some bugs. But I have yet to see anybody spend as much time in Pyro as Marcus has. Marcus knows what he's talking about. He's done the missions. He's done the flying. He's brought multiple ships with him. He's been solar flared on the ground. He's been solar flared in space. He's been solar flared just above the planet's surface. The man knows a lot about what's going on in Pyro. And as I said, I feel he's very underappreciated when it comes to his content in regards to Pyro and the types of ships that you should be bringing with you to Pyro. And that's just my opinion.
Decent shielding, not as good as the Andromeda, but decent enough shielding. And you're going to have the missiles, you got the turrets.
Oh, that's easy, Adam. Marcus calls it that I'm not 100% sure, Rakumo, but I know he's gone to the caves. I know he's gone to the bunkers. He's gone to all the POIs. He's done damn near everything that you can currently do within Star Citizen or within Pyro. But Marcus calls it big PP energy, patience and persistence.
And you can do all mission types with this. So you can do your bounty hunting, you can do cargo, you can do outposts, you can do every.
I wish I had more
type
time so I could do stuff like this.
I think it's going to make it a fantastic choice for a multi-cruise ship in Pyro. And yeah, so we're going to move on to the Andromeda. Much like the Taurus, it has the ability to do all those missions. It does not have a tractor beam. However, one of the things I do want to test out, and we're gonna try to get all these tests done for you guys, is I want to see if we can take this tractor beam off of this ship and put it onto this ship.
Ooh, that would be nice. If you can take the
tractor beam off of this ship and put it onto this ship, it's going to make this ship even better, even though it doesn't have the shielded storage.
Brian, what's up, man? Could you imagine that? You pull the tractor beam off the Taurus, you put it on the Andromeda. Now, yes, you do lose that bottom turret, but now you got a top turret. You got those like 98 missiles or whatever it is. I know I'm exaggerating, but you got those 98 missiles. You got more, I think it's got more HP. Oh, that's going to be a nasty ship. And with that tractor beam, ooh, that's a nice utility piece right there.
The Taurus does, but what it does have is the extra firepower. So you're sacrificing that rear storage space for a little bit of extra firepower, and you are able to use that tractor beam if we can test this correctly.
You're probably right, Box. You probably are, but I mean, you can pull certain ship components off with the tractor beams right now, and if you could flip flop it like that, that would be awesome.
Like I said, the EPTU right now is not very stable for me, so we're gonna continue to, like I said, run these tests and check these ships out.
19K for that big one.
But you already know you can make the Andromeda into a missile boat. It has, again, the 2 size 5 and the 2 size 5 and the 2 size 4 weapons for the pilot, giving this thing a lot of firepower, top and bottom turret, a ton of missiles. So this is an excellent choice for Pyro. We're going to be moving on to this back row. And this back row is a little bit different in that not all of these ships in the back row have the innate ability to do combat, but what they do have is very good shielding protection from the solar flares.
Oh, that sucks,
That
Box.
is very, very important. Pyro, we all know that
One day,
CIG
maybe.
wants to push the salvage gameplay, so the Reclaimer is going to be an excellent choice for a crewed ship. It has size 5 turret weapons. It has plenty of shielding. The hull munching is going to be coming online here soon. So
what?
the
Really,
Reclaimer is going to
Rakumo?
be an excellent choice. And also with that hull munching coming online, you will be able to use that claw to grab people.
Yeah, so these guys are saying that CIG said that the claw, somebody data mined it, the claw is functioning, and supposedly tier 1 or tier 0 hull munching is supposed to be out with 3.22. That's what everybody is saying. I don't know. I'm one of those guys that's believe it. I'll believe it when I see it, or it's downloading onto my computer. So we'll find out. We'll find out.
Ship. So if you're flying around Pyro, you go to an outpost, and you can get there fast enough in this ship. You just can grab somebody else's ship, take it away, munch it down, and be done with it. Now we're gonna move on to a ship.
I want to fling ships.
People probably didn't expect me to put into this list, but I'm putting it here.
Oh yeah, that's
simply
right,
because
Box.
of
They
its
do.
shields, and because you can put other fighters inside of the ship. Now, with that, you are sacrificing a little bit of cargo space, but I think if you're okay with that, this ship
I can
and
actually
will be a great ship.
Dirty.
for
I
Pyro.
can
That is
dirty.
the
I can
Origin
already see
890
it.
Jump. Now, the 890 jump has a ton of shields. It has the missile turrets. It has the front turrets. It will protect you from a solar flare, straight up. So the 890 jump is an excellent ship for Pyro. It's going to be one of the better ships, I think.
I just don't like it because it's
especially
a
since you could put
luxury
Scorpius.
yacht.
You could probably put a Hurricane inside of it. You could put a light fighter
No,
inside
Jim,
of
it does not. Thank you,
It just has
Box.
space
No,
for cargo.
it does
It has
not.
space for all your crew.
There's
The multi-crew ships, they are
currently, Jim, there are only 2 ships that have a, I don't know, Serpent. What's up, man? Currently there's only 2 ships. I'm not sure if they're tier 2 or tier 1 in these ships, but these are the only 2 that have respawn capabilities. The Pisces and the Red are the only other 2 ships that have tier 3 med beds. Those are the only 2. Those are the only 4 ships that have medical beds in them. So, Apollo soon, TM, maybe. We'll see.
are easy to hit.
You
but this one
are
can take
right,
a lot of
Box.
damage.
You're not wrong.
And like I said, you have if you're being attacked, you have that opportunity to open that front.
I like the Reclaimer not because of its salvaging capability. I like the Reclaimer because of the nostalgia I get from being on the inside. It reminds me of Alien. So hardcore, man. So hardcore.
Cargo bay, get your heavy fighter out there or your light fighter and put out some damage. Also, I forgot to mention with the Andromeda, it does have that snub fighter, so you can do the same thing. Okay. And we also can't forget with the 890 jump, much like the Carrack, it does have that mobile med bay.
Skip work to
So
play Star
if you are doing
Citizen.
an outpost
I
mission
know what you
or a
did,
cave mission,
Serpent.
and
I know
and
what you
get shot
did.
down, or you get incapped, you can just
Yeah,
respawn
same
the
here,
ship,
Rakuma. I'd rather have a
giving you
Liberator.
the opportunity to get right back into the action, instead of having to go
Or a
all
Kraken.
the way back to
I just don't have the wallet for it.
a station. So we have the Carrack here. Now the Carrack is another good option for an exploration ship in Pyro. You're going to be able to do a lot of stuff with the ship. Not so much on the combat. I think with the combat, you're pretty much screwed on that. Especially
His
like
turrets are in a weird
you're really gonna
spot.
be screwed.
Like,
I don't think you can really get too many.
These side turrets right here, they don't do you any good. They just don't. I've been in them before. They don't do any good.
Light fighters
Exactly,
in here, but you can't
Chaos
put Furies
Squad. Exactly.
up in this top area. So if you are being attacked, you can launch the Furies out of here, or you can put them out here in the front. But I'd rather keep this front cargo bay
Visit Marcus Wynn
empty, just for the cargo, and also because the sides
Jake
they currently
Riz.
still don't open. I would hope, I got to put on my Hopium mask here. I would hope that as they're updating the ship,
I'm going to answer that question for you right now. He left the Corsair off because they were in a Corsair and one solar flare knocked their shields out, turned off the ship, and damaged multiple components across the ship. So that's why it's not on there. Like, it nearly lost a wing from one solar flare. So you're going to be in big trouble if you have already taken damage and now a solar flare hits you, even with shields all the way up. It still almost crippled the Corsair.
I would hope that they give this ship some type of tractor beam support. I just think that loading these cargo bays, manually is going to be pretty tough when they are able to open. So hopefully they get the cargo base not cargo base, but the tractor beams that they need, so the ship can be much more effective. But as I said earlier,
and then the other thing that which would make this ship both more effective to use and to salvage off of would be these side panels opening here, so you could access the cargo area. You need the right. Marcus still isn't done experimenting, but you need the right kind of shields, and you need multiple shields, not just one shield, but like multiple shields.
You can put the Furies up here. You can put Snuff Fighters up here to help protect you if you're going out and doing missions. It has a mobile med bay. It has plenty of space. It has very good fuel, and you have the shielding from the EMP, not from the EMPs, but from the solar flares.
I agree.
Of the pyro.
He's going off of the information that he had at the moment. Like, he just made this video yesterday. He's been in Pyro every day since it's been available, and I've watched him play multiple long play sessions in Pyro. I'm going to take his word right now on what's going on. Once they've adjusted the power of those solar flares, I'm sure he'll redo this ship lineup. No, none of them have a tractor beam that I'm aware of.
Now, in my opinion, this is the best ship for Pyro. It has the guns, it has the shielding, it has the cargo space. The only thing this ship doesn't have is a tractor beam.
I'm not sure. I'll ask him to try that. I'll ask him to turn off his entire ship.
It will probably be the best ship in the game for multi-crew gameplay. Now, again, I have to put on the Hopium mask. I have to hope that the C1, not C1, but the C2 gets a tractor beam. If it does, a lot like the constellations down here, we'll have to see if this ship can get that tractor beam from the C2 if it does get one. And I think if it does that, then this is going to be the best ship. You would essentially just trade out one of these guns for your
I'm
turret.
guilty too.
And you
I'm
still
guilty
have
too,
one gun
Jim.
and one turret, and you can use that to load your cargo. And
Now,
I was talking.
It would be cool. Now, it's already been, several people have already said that you cannot tractor beam off the tractor beam from the Taurus to the Andromeda. But if someday or somehow that ever is able to happen, that would make some of these ships incredibly powerful. If your buddy can call in a Taurus and you can pull the tractor beam off the Taurus and put it on the Andromeda, that would be amazing. Or, same thing with the C2 and the A2, or the C2 and the M2. That would be super cool. But I don't think that'll ever happen, but one can hope, right?
Talking to this on Scar Citizens podcast about the ability to shoot somebody's ship and open it and take the cargo without ever having to get your guys into danger. And I think that's going to be another fantastic gameplay style in Star Citizen. So you don't really have to board, although I do think people like the aspect of boarding. But
boarding is every pirate's wet dream.
Because if their ship's disabled,
and not just boarding, actually having the occupants fight back against you. Because more often than not, they just backspace, or they hold a grenade in their hand, or, they alt F4, they do whatever. There's never really a fight. Every once in a while you get a good fight, but, you get one. Inception. That was a good movie.
And you're taking their cargo. I mean, you can essentially have guys in the cargo bay of your ship to protect them if they try to board your ship instead. I think that's a better way, it's an easier way to...
Yeah, don't do a Blackjack Bill and assume you're alone, because he got his ship jacked during Wake of Disaster doing that. So they killed somebody, they thought they got all the occupants, and while he was after he had loaded his M2 up, somebody snuck aboard, shot him, and took his ship. And then it became a cat and mouse game across Stanton of them trying to get their ship back. It was honestly, it was kind of cool
to handle that. So in my opinion, the A2 is probably the best. I would say the Taurus, in my opinion, is going to be a very, very close second. It could even be in first because of the tractor beam can't give it the edge. But I think with the way
it just
the
depends
A2
on your
flies,
play style.
Its shielding has better shielding than the Taurus does.
These four right here are my pick.
From
right
the
here,
turrets,
those are my pick.
And all that stuff. It has more cargo space than the Taurus does. So I would much prefer to have this ship over this one, even without the use of a tractor beam. Now, in the beginning of this video, there's a ship that I said is an honorable mention.
The secret ship. The secret ship.
We're going to talk about this ship because I feel like this ship is good, but I feel like it's undershielded still. I feel like it's still pretty weak compared to some of the others.
There you go.
The
Corsair lovers.
And the reason I'm saying these things about the Drake Corsair is simply because when I was playing the Pyro Playground with my friend Carly, she was actually flying this ship when it got hit by an EMP. Now, granted, it did have the stock shields on it, but it did not fare so well against that EMP with just that one shield.
Oh, it was stock shields.
And that's why I said the shields are important. So if there's an EMP coming and you're in a ship that has only front and rear shields, or it only has one shield that covers the entire ship, you either need to get to the dark side of a planet or try to get to a station. Now, if you're in Quantum with the size of Pyro,
you can still use the elevator once you're in, can't you? I'm pretty sure you can.
You have to just kind of eat. But just know that
really sure
the
you can still use the elevator
can
once you get in.
Damage your ship. Her wing was red, and so was one of her weapons. I think if she had a better shield, that it would have protected her. We're trying to test that. Unfortunately, my game hasn't been exactly that stable, so more testing needs to be done. And who knows, they may change the way that shields work in the future. Everything.
I'm sure they were playing with it.
We all know that the Corsair has a ton of firepower, but I think where it falls short is the turrets are very, very weak. They're only size 2s, and they don't really give the best coverage. You got the one here on the back, you got the ones here on the sides, but I just think that, there are better choices than ships. If I was going to go out into Pyro, I would probably prefer to get a Taurus over this ship because it has the tractor beam. I think even though this has superior firepower, I would feel much more comfortable even in something like an Andromeda over a Corsair and Pyro, especially when it comes to the crude gameplay. I think the turrets on the Andromeda are far superior. Even the Taurus, I think, has superior turrets I would give me 2 size 3s over 2 size 2s any day. I think anybody else would take that. I think if the Corsair had at least one turret, this turret back here, I think if that one had at least 2 size 3s on it, I think it'd be a lot better. But you know, it's an honorable mention. It's still a good ship. It's still going to give you a lot of different gameplay loops. You know, and the beautiful thing about this is every ship in this list has its weakness. There's no one ship that's going to be able to dominate all ships. Like every ship has some type of glaring weakness, and I think
he's done a pretty fair breakdown.
Game, but this is just my list.
He's kind of highlighted all their strengths, a couple of weaknesses on all of them.
But like I said, it's just my opinion.
Grizz has pointed out, this may not.
And comment down below. Tell me what your list of best crewed ships for Pyro are, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Fight a couple. Stay safe in Pyro. See you guys soon. Peace.
Thanks, Marcus. I think, you know, as Grizz pointed out, they may be playing around with the power levels of the solar flare, and we'll have to wait and see. But I think he did a pretty good breakdown. I still think that if you were to ask me, I would take an A2, an Andromeda, a Retaliator, Redeemer over all these other ships. That's just me, though. And most of the time when I can get on, and I can get on with, you know, Jim, the Fact, you know, Blackjack, Chaos Squad, all of that, there's not really that many people. So if we were going to multi-crew a ship, I think those would probably be the picks above the rest of these, mostly because of the offensive capability. But, you know, I don't know. I mean, the Reclaimer's cool and all, but I don't know. If I were to be calling a Reclaimer in, that would be because I just torped shit out of something with my, that's not the Redeemer, with the Retaliator. So I don't know. That's just difference of play styles. Just difference of play styles. I kind of hope not too, Marcus. I kind of want that danger of the solar flare, like I want that ever-present danger of the solar flare. I think it adds to the gameplay and not detracts from it. So that was Marcus Wynn. Everybody go visit him. You know what I have not been doing, and nobody's called me out on it? I've been very unprofessional this whole stream, and I haven't copied and pasted everybody in on this. And I will do this for Marcus. Good video. Did I like it? Yep, I did like it. What time is it? What time is it? We'll do one more. We'll do one more. We fired you 10 minutes ago. Yeah, sounds about right. Sounds about right. All right, what do we got here? What should we do? What should we do? What should we do? We're going to do a shorter one. We're going to do a shorter one. I know. I fucked up. All right, Ghost. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you, bud. You're on Stronghold meds. That's right. Voidies? All right, we'll do Voidies. We'll do Voidies. Because I was choosing between Voidies and, you know, this one. Will engineering kill large ships? But we'll do Voidies. After this one, though, I got to get going. So this is going to be the last video. And Voidivids. He's a regular here. Welcome to Voidivids. Star Citizen's Pyro system is not for you.
It's been a long road to Pyro, and I wasn't sure if we were even going to get into the tech preview since streamer privilege got horrifically brutalized in a previous video.
Get out, get the f out, get the f out, get the f out, just get the f out. Oh shit! You fucking nose down a Yes.
But here we are. Unfortunately, we cannot actually get to Pyro from Stanton via the jump point wormhole because meshing servers together in a dynamic way is apparently really hard, but not to worry because with the magic of editing, I have made our first trip to PvPro as immersive as possible to provide you with our first impressions that no one asked for or cares about, because this is what content creators do to mindlessly pad their videos' run times.
Oh my god, it's
Don't
there.
forget.
Let's go, boys.
Okay,
Fito, thanks for the heads up, brother. You're a legend.
PTU account over.
Fair, let's go to another
Copy
channel, bro.
account.
F these losers. Let's get out of here. This is so dope. I know you guys come to Voidy Vids and you hope to be entertained with my sarcastic wit and dirty South African charm.
Oh, dude, you're all right, JT.
I'm just gonna fanboy while we're here, man.
You're all right, JT. I still love you no matter what.
First time is Pyro. I love how that looks like a fucking airport terminal, dude. It's like that. I mean, that's just a plane, right? Like, I mean, they've successfully done a second system. Now we just need 100 more. I mean, we don't really need 100 more, right? Pyro and Stanton will keep us busy for a long time. We just need some fucking gameplay.
I agree, Voidy. I agree.
This is actually so sick. Okay, dude, you're right. It looks like a fucking Kraken. Is that what you were talking about, bro? Bro, but this is insanely impressive. Like the details here. I hope it comes through on Twitch all right. But like the details here are fucking disgusting, dude. I mean, if they can pull off locations,
I will
like
say
this, dude,
this kind of
anything,
puts
dude.
Stanton to shame. Stanton's
Like,
gonna have to get a once over.
Look at the silhouette of these mountains, bro. This is like kind of creepy, deaky planet, man. I reckon stealth gameplay is actually. Ooh, can we loot these? Fucking stealing your fucking pitambus, bro. Let's go.
Oh, he got hit.
Oh, that's not a loot box. Oh,
Nothing's a
dude,
loot
you should
box.
just jump.
At this point, that's exactly what I should. Oh, wait, we've got a second floor.
Bro, this looks so good.
Has your sun risen?
Yeah.
You're okay,
Wish my
JT,
son
man.
was.
You're for real, dude. You're all right. You're all right,
100%,
JT.
dude. Like,
I sometimes feel the same way about Star Citizen. Don't feel like you're alone, my dude. Don't feel like you're alone, my dude. He's getting solar flared, EMP'd.
bro. Guys.
And blammo.
I'm getting a
Mass coronal
ejection in my fucking face, dude.
Right in the face.
Oh, me too. Oh, what is
I don't
that?
think I'm gonna make it, bro.
You're gonna get ejected in the face.
Just be shut up for a little bit.
Nice, very interesting. So here's how you do it. Instead of buying a ship, yeah, you get.
Oh, he didn't show it.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Well,
Come to
appreciate
around
you, man.
Dude, this is
Come
so
back
fucking
soon,
humble,
man.
bro. What the
I don't mean to the channel. I mean to your channel. Come back soon. We need more Ghost Hollow Annex.
Holy.
Solar Bukake.
It's like they've somehow managed to do. Do you know what I love about this? This feels like something straight out of 40k. Just the way that this feels.
It's like a giant hole was bored.
Bro, that looks like the fucking dick of God just came in.
The dick of God.
The dick of God just ruined a rock vagina.
Man, how incredible. If you're a fan of 90s laser tag arena designs, then you'll fucking love the stations littered throughout Pyro, only instead of harmless lasers designed to delight and entertain children in mock combat scenarios, the lucky star citizens who chose Patch City as their home location got to experience this.
See ya, Bob.
Oh my god, this is disgusting, bro.
Work when they're
Yeah,
inside
because
the
they're
elevator.
inside of Armistice Zone. Yeah.
Let's try.
Bro, this is so...
I think more are coming.
Bro, what is this time to kill, bro?
It's just desync. It's just desync. The BBC.
Man, how unfortunate for those guys. But we're in a Drake Interplanetary Corsair now, and as you know, all good ships have a name, so I decided to call this one Winning Formula.
Our first departure, boys.
Because even though we're in Pyro, we're not going to stop with the channel's overused recipe of relentlessly pursuing illicit, mazy, fake space money profits.
Alright, let's go and do something.
Like I jumped when you were halfway there already.
I'm being missiled.
Yeah, you do it for a little bit and the fun wears off.
Not me. And there's another one.
Damn, dude, that Misk is a tanky boy.
Yo.
He's going so fast I can't see if these are players or not. Oh yeah, they're players.
Let's all focus on Jason.
No, it's not a player.
Jason.
Maybe it is a player. I don't know.
Maze, Slam, and Etam on the foreground.
Maybe it's not.
We came to Pyro to see if there was Maze, and we found some fucking nice boys.
Dude.
Let's go.
Some moise.
Top my head because I'm tired.
Nice.
NPC. You
That's
know.
not good.
Jonathan Winters has 2 names. Just saying. Just saying. Somebody convinced. Benj convinced a player that Jonathan Winters was an NPC, and they went after him, and oh my god, it was glorious.
Cool, you boys need help anyway?
No, if you want to just come grab this big maze for me.
Oh, fuck, I lost my... Wait. No, stop.
You're dying, dude.
I'm in my ship, I dropped my helmets, and I'm busy dying of oxygen.
Not of oxygen, lack of oxygen.
Yeah, I'm a dead.
Oh well, never mind. I guess hunting Maze is for the losers back in Stanton, because we're Pyronauts now, and if known Chaos enthusiast, it's not fair. Known Banu sympathizer, Major Star Stuff, and I cannot get a cargo hold full of Maze,
to an
then
actual
no one
game
can.
now.
So, as they say, when in Pyro, PvP everything on site and force everyone you encounter to embrace the new universal world order of shoot first, ask questions later.
That's
Down
right.
with society, civilization. Welcome to Pyro.
If I get into Pyro, I see somebody, I'm treating it as exactly what he said. It's shoot first, ask questions later. I don't really care. Type to me in chat as you're respawning if you want to talk to me, because if I see you, you're dead. Just as I expect if you see me and I don't see you, I'm dead. Like, I just expect that. Like, I really do. If I see something moving, I'm just going to shoot. That's just pretty much the way it's going to be. Isn't that what we are supposed to do? Yeah, pretty much. I just shoot everything. Yeah. Jake ships aren't airtight. No. See, that's why they give you the roll of duct tape in the back, so that way you can make it airtight when you feel like making it airtight. That's how you do that. You gotta. But if you don't pay for the upgrade, so when you buy a Drake ship, there's the Drake ship, and then there's the upgraded one, and that's the one that comes with duct tape in the back. You got to make sure you get that upgraded Drake ship.
Pyro, motherfucker.
Welcome to Pyro, motherfucker.
Drake tape.
Town, boy. Get the fuck out of my town.
Oh, there he goes.
Oh, he made a beeline right for a ship. Too bad ballistics go through. That'll definitely go through. Well, it'll blow up the ship.
You're running him down.
Gotta hit it in the front, right in the nose. It'll blow up immediately.
Get the fuck out of here. Oh, shit.
Oh, he got him.
Dude,
Goodbye.
Take it down.
Yeah, dude.
I see you firing, or you just want to cut this?
How it is the Pyro.
The Drake way. Many boxes have weights now when you tractor beam them.
He's gonna redeem it this time.
What do you mean? They physically, like they feel different as you're moving them around? Because I don't know. I've killed Canop a few times with boxes, and it's always been funny. Got to go with the premium speed tape. It's essentially a bunch of layers of aluminum, and it's works pretty well. Yeah, he got him.
The mic is working now.
I think I hit him. Something's firing missiles.
Oh, no, I can't come closer.
Yeah, I'm gonna jack the cutlass and come help you.
Cool.
Good job, mate. If you want to join, just head to Mox on so long. Pyro 2, Sunset Mason.
Okay,
We're in a
Box,
stolen
okay.
cutlass now, and as you know, all good ships have a name, so I decided to call this one
Hits. Come on, hits.
Hey, maybe this one hits. Wow.
Holy shit.
99 kilograms.
No, it's like cutlass.
No, that,
Oh, is
that's
it
just
standard?
that's just stock. Yeah, that's
Interesting.
just stock.
Interesting.
Oh, big hits, bro. Big hits. Where'd he go? Who are these people following me? Oh my god.
There's a prowler coming in.
But like, we all blast him at the same
Like
time.
right in, yeah.
We all blast him at the same time. Okay, you've already gone.
It would have been funny if he hit his
Truck,
friend.
maybe?
Oh shit. Oh!
There we go. Maybe this redeemer
This
does.
is Pyro, bro. They're gonna come and take our fucking land.
We're in a Redeemer now, and as you know, all good ships have a name, so I decided to call this one...
Oh!
That's warning them.
That was
I
an
don't think I get
accidental
to
ram.
save you,
I
bro.
did not mean to ram him on purpose. Yo, bro, can you hear me? Hello?
That guy seems surprised that he was even there. Wait, what?
This is Pyro, bitch!
This is Pyro! Nice. So this is exactly what I would be doing.
Oh shit, that was a hero landing. Now's the chance if you do.
You can, yeah.
Hit. He's gone beyond the line of sight. Hit.
He's pretty good with that railgun.
Oh, bro, this thing's locked tighter than a nun's cut. I'm not kidding you. Dude, the vibe here is so
Locked tighter than a
intensely
nun's.
Mad Max.
Wow.
Dystopian. Something just landed there. Can we?
So what's in the Xeno threat then?
I'm hoping Xenothreat fucking armor and a fucking
Wow.
Dragonfly.
If you want.
I'm gonna
All
take
good ships
this
have a
bad boy
name?
for a spin.
Come on, come on.
Pyro
Do it, do
1.
it, do it.
See, it totally fits, bro.
Okay.
It fits.
I mean, it doesn't, but okay.
This is how God intended things to fit.
Oh, there it goes.
Left, left, left.
FPS.
He's on the left side of my ship.
It's Pyro,
Towards you.
motherfucker!
He's going for the mule. You're shooting the wall.
I got him
Coming your
up.
way. Got a nice.
I've got a marker for their ship. It's
Wow,
a
did they
Pisces,
increase
I
the
think.
time to kill?
Yeah.
It seems
This
like
is
it.
Pyro. What were you thinking? Did you fire a missile?
We then decided that all these bases are now belong to us. I'm not waiting
don't
for
know,
CIG
Jim, I
to
don't
start
know.
development on player-owned buildings and bases when we can stake our own claim in Pyro right here, right now. With Pyro 3 and 2 successfully under our control, it's now time to invade Pyro 1. No one is safe. This is usually when I say, don't forget
it's
to like and
probably
subscribe,
something that they
but
need to
first
adjust.
a message. You see, not long ago, on Asmongold's stream, some hyped-up handsome viewer told Asmongold, Star Citizen is not for you. Look it up.
Star Citizen is not for you, look it up.
Which happens to be my previous video. But instead of getting a hilarious low-effort react by everyone's favorite big dick streamer, which would have been statistically great for views, he rambled on about how Star Citizens are no different to NFT-obsessed copium addicts and crypto bros.
I'm gonna just keep it real right here, okay?
That is a lot to... Oh, okay, he's going to
This
say
is
it.
to the Star Citizen community. And I don't want to say this, but I have to. You guys act like NFT Andes. You act like crypto Andes. In my replies and in the videos.
Therefore, you...
Wow, that's a lot to unpack. And, well, not really. He's not wrong. That's there, you got it. There's my hot take Wednesday. Asmongold is not wrong. We treat the ships like NFTs, and they're not the same. I know they're not the same, but the way we buy these things up at thousands of dollars at the going rate of thousands of dollars to spending upwards of thousands of dollars on ships is pretty ridiculous. Now, I will never tell anybody what to do with their money. I'm just saying it's a little ridiculous. No, Pyro is just essentially a lawless system. There's no eye in the sky. You know how you get the little communication satellite thingy up there? There's no eye in the sky. You can't report crimes. It's completely lawless. You can do whatever you want. You can shoot at people. You can do whatever. There's no way to report a crime. I do think reputation's going to end up becoming a thing within the next year. So that might dissuade some of the violence, but I don't think it's going to make it all go away. I don't think it's going to ever go away. Yeah, Luce, it's probably a good thing.
You handsome viewers and Star Citizen mega fans owe my channel at least 5,000 subs because you couldn't play it cool after our ludicrous space game caught the attention of a few big time streamers. So the least you can do is like, subscribe, and or perhaps treat yourself to a Starforge gaming PC using the Voidy Vids link on screen now by way of an apology to myself and Asslord Lold. Oh my Void dude, you are so shameless, I cannot hear you exclaim. You turned this missed shot at increased big-time reactionary viewership potential into an ad for Starforge PCs, of which now you are an affiliate for.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
yes,
Asmund Gold's
viewer,
PC.
I did. If you're not the type of epic gamer to build your own PC from scratch, consider Starforge's offerings from core, enthusiast, and creator ranges of pre-built systems using quality parts and stellar craftsmanship, providing you with the ultimate experience possible in PC gaming. Starforge PCs come with a 2-year full parts and labor warranty, so you can focus on the thing that matters most.
Can we get back to all good
With
ships
that
have a name?
shameless hashtag ad out of the way, here's your epic
Thanks,
high-octane,
Voidy.
ludicrous space game montage content that you came for.
One here.
Music.
Yeah.
Got a shot off. Engage him, dude. He won't last long.
Like some good hits.
Whoa, nice, dude.
Nice.
Pyromobile, hoverboard.
Oh no, I don't want, I'm getting off at the wrong point.
Oh,
Oh god. I'm alive. Skyriming my way up here.
We've got a Mercury Star. Oh.
MSR.
No, MSR.
There's another ship in the sky there.
Let's quickly
Is that
get to the
MSR?
Dragonfly.
I can't quickly
I don't know, JT. Are you a hardcore
Do you
gamer?
wanna
No, it's really South Africa. You've got like a shack with
Okay.
metals and
hell?
too many people in a vehicle.
Let's go.
Okay, I'm good. Let's go.
We got a
This is not
Cutlass or
gonna
something?
work.
Pike 77.
Oh,
He's
shit.
gonna die.
I can be
He's
a
gonna
sniper.
die.
And we've got a
you
dude. We've got a
can see
Carrack
us.
on the right hand side there, bro.
Oh, there it is.
I'm gonna hop up here. I'm gonna hop up here in railgun.
The desync is real, man. The desync is
Scoping
real.
Cutlass.
He took off.
Oh shit. Oh, Voidy, he might have you on radar. You're too close to
Seeking
him.
cover. Seeking cover. Seeking cover.
Seeking
in
cover.
seat. Co-pilot.
Entering the Carrack.
Have
Having
a
measure. Slowly.
leg injury. Oh, now they finished me. Yeah, they're looting me now.
Oh, what the f-
Yeah,
Oh,
Voidy's South African, yes.
I think you got him, Voidy.
Got him. Dude, he came behind me. Did somebody not tell me there's a fucking door there?
That's alright.
Oh
Voidy
shit,
has
there's something
the
else.
Pyro rules. Oh,
Oh, Pisces.
Pyro
Pisces.
rules. Shoot him! Shoot him! Shoot him!
You're standing behind the shields. You're probably safe.
Oh, he's on
There's a Scorpius in the air.
Pyro rules, bitch.
Wow. That was awesome.
Scorpius, what
Get
the
out.
fuck?
Stay back in, Voidy. You're gonna be on the shield ring.
Oh, it's a
Can you guys
Cutlass
save
steel, by
Major?
the way.
Yeah, please get in there.
There he is.
Wow. The time to kill is
It's just FYI, Fed.
Pyro rules,
off the charts, man.
Alright, then it must die.
Steal his bed pens. You're gonna need them.
I'm gonna be playing Star Citizen tonight for sure. I got a question for you guys at towards the
Yeah, a
end.
lot of firebird.
Dude, what
How is he
this,
still alive?
man?
Jeez.
It's got to be.
Pyro rules,
Respawn
bitch.
naked.
Oh,
That's
he's
just...
shooting you from behind. They're respawning from behind you. No, behind the other.
What do I do
Music.
now, bro?
Need some glow sticks.
I've got no more meds. I'm just.
Take one off his body.
He's right here,
There he
dude.
is.
Will, what's up, man?
You'd be dumb to come in there.
No, I'm down.
Unlucky. Well done, dude. You did
Fuck,
so well there.
we gotta get back. We gotta get back. We gotta get back. We gotta get back. Fair, go fuck them up.
Sadly, we have been brought low by some concierge whale with fancy executive golden space armor.
I appreciate
that's
you
probably
joining.
worth
I appreciate
more than
you
Chris's
joining
real
us.
life yacht. I guess Pyro 1
It's gotta
belongs
be
to
something
them
like that,
because
Jim.
money
It's gotta
can
be
in
something
fact
like that.
buy access to Pyro as well as happiness. Oh well, never mind. Thank
Money
you, channel
buys pirate,
patrons and channel
money
members for all your
buys-
support. Your incredible generosity continues to blow me away. Thinking of pledging to this ludicrous
Money
space
buys
game, then
happiness?
use one of the referral codes on screen now for a free 5,000 starting credits. If you enjoy my content and are interested in supporting the channel beyond a like and a subscribe, check the links in the description. Consider the join button below and follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/voidude. Your continued support genuinely helps me to
I need to go
continue
and follow
producing
him.
these videos. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you around the verse. Cheers.
That was a lot of good fun, guys. That was a lot of good fun. There's a like, and I know I forgot to do this earlier, so here's one. Here's the link for you guys. I was being very unprofessional earlier. Okay, probably not JT. These sound like the South Africans that went to fancy schools with roofs and not mud huts. I'm not laughing at you. I'm just laughing at what you said. I am going to do my best to get on Star Citizen tonight and hopefully stream it if the wife allows and the kids allow. You know, the dad life, the working life, all that fun stuff. I have yet to be to sleep yet. I started work last night at 7:30 last night, and I have not been to bed yet. So I'm going to be doing that here very shortly. I did want to tell you guys, and, you know, I don't want to get banned, but if I do, I do. I've been, like, when Star Citizen pisses me off, I've been playing single-player Tarkov a lot. So, a few nights ago, Star Citizen wasn't working right. Jim, it wasn't working right for him. We couldn't meet up. You know, I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to play some single-player Tarkov. I ended up playing that from like 9 o'clock at night until 7:30 in the morning. It was a lot of fun, and I learned a lot, and I've been really enjoying it. You may ask, why play single-player and not the multiplayer? Well, we're already 2 months into a wipe, maybe even 3 months into a wipe, and yes, it's single-player. It's all AI. Now, I will say the AI is cranked up. So if you think you're just going to run around blasting AI, you got a whole nother thing coming. The AI will absolutely wreck you if you think you're going to be able to Call of Duty style it. It's just not going to happen. But it's been good fun, man. It's been good fun. I've really enjoyed it. Why don't I play multiplayer? We're really deep into a wipe. And when you're trying to go, when you're running around with an SKS or a Mosin or any one of the starting guns without high ergos and access to the AP rounds and all of that fun stuff, you're not punching through their armor faster than they could whip around on you and drop you. So that's one reason why I don't. I do like the game overall, though. I think the multiplayer is great. I think the single player mod is fantastic. Yeah. I'll see what I can do, Chaos. I'll see what I can do. I really want to play tonight. It's been a couple of days since I've played, and I'd really like to play. But, yeah. Guys, it's been great. Thank you for the 13 likes. Thank you all for being here. Let me put this up one more time, just in case anybody wants to. You know, click on this link if you want to join the Discord. You know, JT and the crew, they have meme wars. They actually absolutely run wild with rule number 6. If you join, you'll find out what rule number 6 is. Yeah, we have good times. That's where you can submit your reacts to. Quite a few of the reacts that were up today were from Jim and JT and some of the other guys in the Discord. But yeah, you guys have a great day. I'm out of here, and see you in the next one. So long. Thanks for all the fish. Peace.